Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike.
Hey y'all, I'm Jay, and I see you.
You feeling fancy in Tennessee?
I was gonna do that Philip DeFranco thing. I was like, oh shit, people would know what that was. Like, hey, good afternoon, you beautiful bastards. I'm Philip DeFranco.
Let's just jump right into it. I haven't seen one of his videos in years, but I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah,
what it was.
he's still pretty active, I guess. I think he's still making videos, from what I understand, folk.
Yeah, I think last time I saw he had like a whole PewDiePie team and a whole bunch of crazy shit going on there. Hey man, it's nuts. We already got like several people super chatting before we even came in the room. Gary, what's up, dude? Said, did you guys hear about the original ending to Ends? Well, do you know how there was that pic of Allison knocking on Laurie's door?
Yeah, TMZ. They just can't stay out of it. They always got to break shit, huh? They always got to be the ones like Nightcrawler and Jake Gyllenhaal.
TMZ's a bunch of pieces of poopy. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, man. There's a video we did on actually. Yeah, it's crazy. Laurie had the power of the darkness of Michael and started strangling Allison. And then she's like, get out of here before I can't control myself. Kind of like your mom would do when you got in trouble when you were a kid. But then she slams the door and the movie ends, and you're supposed to believe that the power transferred to Laurie, which I don't like at all.
What a sad sack of shit that was. I can see where that got left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I'm glad it did, to be honest with you. Gary also says, apparently Allison walks into Laurie's to Laurie's house. They are talking, then all of a sudden Laurie starts choking Allison. She managed to break feet. And then, but wait, there's more. Thanks, Gary. As she runs out the front door, Laurie shouts, run, Allison, the evil is in me now. Oh, I didn't know she said that, actually. I can't stop it. Run, then bang, it cuts the credits. Don't fear the Reaper playing the credits.
This sounds like this. It sounds like an Eminem fight that happened on the streets of 8 Mile.
Should have never laid hands on her. No restraint. Thanks, man. Thanks, Inky. Appreciate that. Says you guys are just what I needed after a night at work. Fun fact, I originally found your channel from someone posting compilations of clips.
Stop choking your wife, Mike. That's what she's throwing back. She's throwing plates at you.
It was a hooker I thought was dead, and it came back to life. That's.
I haven't even been around a hooker tonight. Check my trailer.
Check my grinder. That's crazy. Yeah, I've never even been on Tumblr, but I know when I Google our shit sometimes, I see some Tumblr posts. But that's
we had a video that was floating around years ago too, where we did the Sundays with Michael that someone ripped from us, and they made a meme out of it. Mm-hmm. The one with Cody doing the stabbing thing, that fucking sucked because we didn't get. We were like, I had no idea, and then there was like millions of views on it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was crazy. Gary also says a little bit of it still in the movie. Remember when Michael sees Laurie's memories, he's infecting her like Corey. Yeah, I figured that's what was going on when they showed that weird jump back when he was choking her to all the stuff that was supposedly, I guess, was supposed to be the evil transferring, not like
that's a power you wish you had of Michael's, where you could just see herpes on someone before you even talk to him. I can focus that in. I know you've got 30ness.
Let me smell your dick so I can make sure you don't have herpes. Dan Heron, good man. Very good, man. Love you, Dan. Can't play volleyball very well, but he's a very nice guy. He says, go Phillies, Mike. Damn, that hurt. Curious to see where my favorite Chasing Amy falls. Great seeing some of the filming sites here in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. Love you guys. Snoochie boochies.
Snoochie boochie, child. Yeah, actually, Chasing Amy. Well, I can't reveal it to you, Dan, but I hated that movie when it first came out. I didn't really hate it, but it was so different and departed so far from Mallrats. It took me a little while to really understand it and like it. Because I it's one of those movies, as you get older, you really enjoy it more for what it is. True, because you were coming off Mallrats, where it was like, oh, where's the butt buckery? And then you get into this soft shit. You're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, man, at least you get shared moments between lesbians.
There is great stuff in that movie. There really is. Like, there's great, awesome Kevin Smith stuff in that movie. And then sometimes it just goes into some weird lifetimey stuff. But I also like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
I find myself loving it. Texas Tootin's in here with the kitty cat icon.
Woo-wee, Texas tootin'. That shine going through me tonight, boys. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror like Jay looking for those damn horses. Oh, God, my britches are getting full. Mike, can you shotgun a beer and give me a yee-hee?
Yee-hee.
Damn, Texas tootin'.
That was terrible.
You got to change that goddamn profile pic. People in the South going to think you sweet boy. You ain't gonna be welcome to Valvoline or the Cracker Barrel ever again, Texas student.
Hey man, do you know Cracker Barrel sells alcohol now?
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. I think
shit, though.
I haven't been there since they started doing it.
They just serve it in a fucking can. They just give you a can.
That's stupid. Well, I mean, it is a redneck joint though. So you have a beer can, some natural light. You sit up there and play oversized checkers with the rocking chairs. You ride it home.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's a great hangover place. So I guess that's why, like, they were probably losing money to other places that you can go have a nice country breakfast, but also have the hair of the dog.
Yeah, they fought back on that for a while. They wanted to keep it more like family friendly or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they had mimosas and they had beer, but the beer was in a can. Literally gave me a can of Miller Lite, and then the mimosas, they give you a can of mimosa and some juice. It's like, what?
You know what'd be really good is if they start selling like moonshine.
Straight up moonshine.
Like no, it's just like that flavored moonshine and shit.
Oh yeah, that actually they would probably kill if they did that in their store up there.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Country store. Courtney Reed, what's up, dude? He says, glasses. Jay, can I get a Pamela Voorhees talking about the Friday the 13th prequel?
I don't know why they're talking about my dead husband. He was a piece of shit in life and even worse in death. That motherfucker still owes me and Jason back support. Did you see Jason's teeth? That's why he was bullied. It's a goddamn shame. Jason, kill him again. Kill your daddy.
Papa, can you hear me?
I did hear about that. By the way, I did hear. I haven't seen the review, and I know that Slashing Cast guys do a lot of coverage on it, but they did do.
Oh, there goes Jay. I like that we saw him reach up and touch the thing, and then was just gone. What'd you do, Richard?
I was literally trying to close out my gay porn that popped up on my screen. I didn't want you guys to see what I've been into lately, but no, somebody was talking about, they played the PC demo for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and apparently it's really good. I don't know.
Yeah, when we were at Scarefest, Damien Mafiai, he came up and said that he just played as himself. Like, so I guess they've got some gameplay going around too. I don't know if they had it at their booth. I never saw.
Oh, is he going to be one of the survivors?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what character plays, but he plays a character.
I'd never play that asshole.
I don't think he's a survivor. I think he's a dangerous person. But
he's a danger to himself. He is. That is true.
In real life and in video game world. Yeah. But no, super sweet dude. We love that guy.
Yeah, he's really nice.
But yeah, that Friday the 13th stuff is fucking crazy. Dude.
Well, I could never play because I fucking sucked as Survivor or Jason.
Well, no, I'm talking the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Have you know what's like all the crazy shit that's going on the past couple days with that?
I heard the well, I know that one dude won his lawsuit.
Yeah, it's done. Like, they actually got together. So it's a TV show, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be on Peacock. It's gonna be a prequel, remake, sequel series, and it's produced by A24. It's going to be directed, or the showrunner is the guy who ran Hannibal, the show Hannibal, Brian Fuller. And
I feel like I'm reacting to fireworks.
They have all the fucking they have rights to adult Jason with the mask. They have rights to Crystal Lake.
What studio? Oh, it's A24. You just said.
Yeah, A24 is running it, dude. It's gonna be fucking insane.
I don't know. The prequels kind of seem stupid, to be honest.
Well, see, originally when they said it, they just said it's going to be an expanded prequel, and people were freaking out. But he's like, no, it's more of a prequel, remake, sequel. So I guess what they're going to start with Pamela, and then move to Jason, and then move past Jason, which I'm fucking pumped for. Dude.
What? Let's send him to space. It's already been done, you jackrabbit. But you know what they should do is look. First off, Betsy Palmer killed it as Pamela. I wouldn't even fuck with that. They should do exactly what 2009 did. Like, I know they want to do the prequel thing because prequels are hot. He's so hot these days, that Hansel. But why don't you just do what 2009 remake do? Just give a very brief 10, 15-minute thing and then just let people get to Jason. That's what they want to see anyway. They want to see Jason.
Their main focus, though. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We've never touched Elias. We've never touched the dad. We've never touched all that shit before. I
touched him once, and it was legal in the state that I was in, Utah.
I can't wait to see what they do. I think it's gonna be different, dude. I think it's gonna be something way different than we've seen before. I'm fucking pumped for it. But
yeah,
that's very exciting. Tyler Rumfelt says, playing Mega Man 2 and trying to listen to you guys at the same time, I'm failing. Well, Mega Man's fucking hard, dude.
I love Mega Man. Mega Man's got some of the best original music. Point blank, period. I don't want no arguments. It really does. Mega Man, the sound, like the music, fucking amazing. Mega Man 2 is badass too. I played all of them except for not the newer ones, like the super duper Mega Man X-55, whatever the fuck they got out now. But the Mega Man 2 is great. Classics. I think that's the one. Is that the one with the guy with the he's got like he's like a green robot, and he's like got a clipper thing on his head. I can't remember his name. Clipper Man. Fuck, I don't know. It's good times, man. Good memories.
Ezra Miller.
It was.
Yeah.
Keeps cutting his career up. He does.
But long ass fucking time. Inky the Alien says, I just want to tell Dr. Loomis something. Michael Myers is my pathetic little meow meow baby girl and has done nothing wrong, and I love him. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm sorry that society failed you. Go back to goddamn space, you psycho. What the hell is this? He's coming on here talking about Michael's pathetic little meow meow. He'll make meow minks out of your ass, and he'll eat it. Shut up.
Brent Ferguson, sup, dude? He says, hey guys, I love almost all Smith films. Clerks 2 is my favorite, but I really like Clerks 3 too. What are butt thieves?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I don't know. You could ask Edward Norton in American History X what that means. They stole his ass.
My butthole is Satan's concubine.
Oh, by the way, it's random, but do you remember the Family Matters?
Yeah.
The dad in that, what was it? Reginald.
Is that the one?
The dad, Carl Winslow. I think it was Reginald something. I don't know. Anyway, dude, I didn't know that him and his wife in the show got their start, because it came out in '89, Family Matters. They actually appeared, Carl Winslow as a cop and his wife in Perfect Strangers. And then it was kind of like they had a lot of chemistry and they made the show Family Matters after that. The only reason I brought it up because the tagline was like, Reginald said that, I think his name's Reginald, I could be wrong. The actor that played Carl Winslow said that sometimes Jaleel White was really hard to work with sometimes, or he was difficult to work with sometimes. And the mom on that show said at one point Jaleel White wanted to fight her physically. I was like, you fucked him up. Urkel.
Step those suspenders back on his ass. That's crazy. Well, I'm not surprised though. But
well, she said Jaleel White was just not as refined as the other actors were. Like, I guess they expected him to be more mature. Well, he was a kid. I don't know.
He punches the craft services lady in the face. Like, did I do that?
You damn well did. And now here's some handcuffs on your ass. And now you're going to find out what a butt thief is, as Brandon Ferguson asked.
That's assault, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll get into it, man. But I just recently watched Clerks 3 again, and my score went to the moon after watching it a second time. Jeffrey M says, 8 Doritos and literally got a chip on my shoulder.
Oh my God.
You're going to need that for the big NASCAR race this weekend.
I like it. I like it. I like
it. Colton Candler, thanks, buddy. Says, sup, dudes. How cool would it be if Christopher Nelson signed on for the Crystal Lake show? I mean, I could be inside of that with a toasted chalupa.
I don't think Christopher Nelson would ever do anything like that. I think he thinks it's below him. I feel like I just don't see him doing it. I think Nelson, he always wants to do his original psychological thriller kind of shit. I don't see Christopher Nelson even fucking touching Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th to a lot of directors are more like like they do it to get comeuppance in Hollywood, and use it to kind of springboard into Hollywood to get bigger and better projects. Because it feels like I don't even know how to compare it. It's like in boxing, when they just take contender after contender, they got to go through here. They got to get through this guy to be number one contender to take on for the belt. I'm not trying to dog shit on Friday the 13th because I enjoy it, but it just feels like directors kind of look at it like that. Because it's so far removed from what, Cunningham with what he did originally with Friday the 13th. And then now it's like everywhere.
I think it's different nowadays, though. I mean, when you look at what horror's doing right now, like in the 80s and like 90s and early 2000s, fucking for sure. Like nobody with a respect on their name. Brian Fuller probably back then wouldn't have touched this with a 10-foot fucking pole. But
yeah,
when you look at what horror's doing now, it's like superhero movies and fucking horror movies, and like that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the box office successes of Halloween, and now I'm just, you know what? To be honest with you, even with the prequel shit and all that kind of goddamn nonsense court things that was going on, I'm just glad that there's something in the works for Friday the 13th. Now we need to have something with Nightmare on Elm Street coming. My God, can I get back in the dream? I want it wet and juicy. I want a wet and juicy dream with Freddy.
I think it will.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
We're going to see that shit real soon, I believe. Stacey James, thanks, buddy, says, thoughts on the Avatar trailer. To me, it's like when your old crush finally wants you, but she's turned to crack and has 5 kids from 6 fathers.
I hate it when that happens, Stacey. God damn, you see it all the time in the streets of LA.
I
haven't seen it yet. I don't think I've seen it. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
It just came out today.
I haven't watched it. I don't know. Because it's usually recommended on YouTube or something. I never saw it.
Yeah, no, it was like the big news stories of the day, but I didn't watch it because I fucking hate Avatar. So I don't really.
I love Avatar, but I might have to watch it. But to be honest, man, like I just feel like it's too little, too late. I mean, I would have been down for it if it had come out a few years ago, but I mean, who knows? It might be a fucking juggernaut. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. You guys know me. I'm up for anything, but I don't give a fuck. I tried to watch Avatar 7 goddamn times, and I've never made it through the whole movie.
It's a great movie. You just got to sit down and listen to a Blue Man Group and get into it.
Gary said, I just heard Green said in an interview another ending would have been in a Silver Shamrock factory. Gary, you gotta watch the videos more often, man. We've been talking about this shit for a while. He says the 3 mask comes off the line, and then Myers' mask comes off. Basically, it's the mask controlling him. Yeah, they're in the factory, they're in Silver Shamrock. You see the normal Silver Shamrock mask, and then all of a sudden, well, bam, a fucking Michael Myers mask pops out, and you're like, oh shit, son.
God damn, dude. I feel like Jeff Goldblum in that scene. He was like, you crazy son of a bitch, you did it. You did it. You completely ruined this fucking movie with that. If he had done that, I'd have shit myself with fucking like, ugh. It might have been better though. I don't know. The meat grinder thing at the end was fucking just as bad. So I don't know. It's like fucked, fucking super fucked. So there, it's like whatever. I don't know.
Well,
the Silver Shamrock thing would have been cool, I guess, because it would have been a nod to the movie. But I mean, I don't know.
And it wouldn't have replaced the meat grinder thing anyway. I think it would have just been after that. Like you would have seen that. He was being controlled the whole time by Silver Shamrock.
Yeah, that's like a boxer like punching you in the nuts and getting warned by the ref, and then doing it right after he gets warned again. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like I actually agree with the reason David Gordon Green didn't go with that, because he was like, I thought about it. And he was like, that was in every script we wrote. He was like, but in the end, I just didn't film it because he was like, it felt too fan servicey and it didn't really have a point. And he was like, I also thought Season of the Witch is a cool thing. If I put this little just fan service clip in my movie, it's going to stop them from being able to actually do something with that down the road. He was like, so I wanted to still leave that opportunity open. So, and I totally respect him for that.
So if you go in with that direction too, if the mask had been controlling him, then I guess a good person could have picked it up, and then he would have been, they called me Cuban Pete. I was like, I've heard of the plot of this movie before. It was literally called The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Barty, because I gotta.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Jeffrey says, I got a $500 Chucky doll. I'm gonna pull his pants down, lollipop.
Hey man, go ahead, Jeffrey. After you're done with your bag of chips, go ahead and suck that Chucky's dick.
It's America, man. You can do whatever you want in the confines of your own home as long as no one's there or watching.
Man, listen, Jeffrey's American, man. Like right there, like that dude right there. He'll suck that Chucky cock with an American flag flying in the background and fireworks going off because he don't give a fuck, and natural light on tap.
They come to arrest him for playing with dolls like that. And he's like, no, you don't understand. There's a full-grown man in there.
Yeah, he's like, for what? Don't come on my property without a warrant, you goddamn dirty-ass pigs.
Pumpkinhead says, love the channel. What's your favorite burgers? Man, that's a good fucking question. I love it.
That's an easy answer, though. An easy answer. Me and Mike
fast food, we got the same answer.
Yes, and by the way, thank you for coming and checking us out. Pumpkinhead, I love that movie. Very underrated, amazing movie. Anyhow, Mike and I favorite fast food burger, and they've never brought it back, or at least I haven't seen it. Is
not
in
its natural form.
Well, not in its natural form, not in the real form. Is the Hardee's burger, the jalapeno
thick burger.
Thick burger, yeah, because we like them thick meat. So good, dude. The jalapeno thick burger from Hardee's was worth every fucking dollar. It was expensive. It was like $10 for the meal, but dude, that was like good. Like it had the perfect balance of sauce, like spice, and then it had a great taste to it, and it had like a charbroiled in like aftertaste. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I've had 1 million jalapeno burgers. I make jalapeno burgers. None of them taste like that burger.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like nothing. Like oh yeah, it's good, but it's not. That had a specific, succinct thing, and I've literally written Hardee's emails like, "Hey, can I get that back or what?"
Yeah, it's like, what y'all doing? Fucking McDonald's is bringing back the McRibs, you silly bitch, for the last time I hear it, and you guys can't bring that back. Time? They said forever. It's the last time forever.
Well, that's probably better for society as a whole. It's disgusting.
They do it. It literally. I was just telling April about that, dude. Does it not look like, you know how you go to the grocery store and you get that frozen rib? You know, like they get like those meals. Yeah. Those, you know, like Hungry Man, and you fucking put it in the microwave and you eat it. And it tastes like an Eskimo's dick. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like a frozen rib sandwich. Like, I don't know, it's gross.
It's disgusting. Apart from fast food burgers, I'll say the best restaurant burger. We have a place here in Lexington, Kentucky called Shamrocks that Jay and I have frequented many dark nights. And they have what's called a peanut butter burger. And they have a burger. Their burgers are fucking badass. They call them O-rounds because I think it's like sausage mixed with burgers. Anyway, they're dope as shit. And they put peanut butter and bacon on that bitch. And it's fucking delicious. You'd think it'd be gross. Goddamn best burger I ever had in my life, man. It's amazing.
Good stuff.
Texas Totem says, we getting some new Freddie Voorhees. Didn't that Pamela chick get hit by a car or some shit? Shout out Loomis. He's been losing his mind since 87, and not one Xanax has been in his mouth. Hey, you don't know that.
Listen here, Tex, dude. You just gonna run around shooting your mouth off and acting a fool. I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna get run out of the Proud Boys fucking organization. And that's a goddamn fact, Tex student. You shut the fuck up. I ain't gonna hear no more goddamn words about Dr. Loomis or no goddamn Freddie Voorhees either. Fuck her. Is that her name? Freddie Voorhees? Sounds like a whore.
Sounds like a whore.
I'm taking your goddamn rebel flag back from you, Tex student, if you keep it up. Don't one more word me. You shut your mouth or I'll fuck it.
Keep my dick in your mouth to keep my dog.
Oh yeah, that's a quote from the movie. Dude, that like was one of the best quotes. Brandon, not Brandon, though the character's name is Brandon, but Justin Long and Zach and Miri make a porno, which I fucking really liked it a lot. When he was like, oh yeah, hey, this is Brandon. He's been in such great movies. He's like, what's that one called? He's like, shut your mouth or I'll fuck it. He's like, oh yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that one.
Justin Long's voice was so good in that. And it was the same voice he did in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. He's like, look me up on Grindr, Dick Wolf.
I'd love, dude. He was so funny in that.
Yeah, he was awesome. Michael Pard, good to see you, buddy. Says my first Friday the 13th is the first Friday the 13th is my personal favorite. For many horror fans, it's favoritism. I support originality, and Jason wouldn't be a thing if the first wasn't hit. Now, I don't mind or say that you're wrong in that situation. I just, in my opinion, once you watch Friday the 13th, the original, and then you go back and watch it again and you know who the killer is, it's like, God damn, this is a piece of shit with a surprise ending of which I know the surprise.
Yeah, I think Friday the 13th one is good for what it did. I mean, it did spawn multiple movies and make an amazing character like Jason Voorhees like become one of the iconic killers of all time. But once you've seen that movie, again, it's a masterpiece. But once you know all the ins, like the reason why that movie works so well is like you already knew, like you didn't know who the killer was, and it was a shock that it was Pamela Voorhees and then all this. But but that wasn't even really a supernatural movie. When Jason becomes supernatural and then the focus is more on Jason Voorhees, that's really, in my opinion, what makes the series the hit that it is Jason, the character, not so much the first movie at all. I think it grows beyond. What was it? It was like what Yoda says to Luke in that shitty ass The Last Jedi goes, they are what they are, our students are what they are, they grow beyond us or some shit like that. Like, so we made an awesome movie, and now the movies took on a life of their own, and they grew beyond it. So
yeah, but I get it. It was the first Kiki Ma. They call me Stamps, motherfucker. Thanks, buddy. It says, walked around my neighborhood dressed like Michael for Halloween. I got called Miguel, Mikhail, Michelle, and Aaron. I don't know where that one came from.
Well, I don't know where you had the Aaron party. It's like, hey, you Aaron from them horror movies? Aaron Myers.
It's like I thought you were one of the investigative journalists. I think his name was Aaron. Maybe.
Is that his name? Oh, it was maybe.
I think
he's
so.
like, yeah, but it's like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? How much candy, meaning heroin, have you done tonight? You called me
Candy.
Aaron,
you dandy,
Aaron Myers. Yes, sir.
Maybe they were just really learning on the franchise and thought you had a gate like Aaron Armstrong, who played Michael in the flashback sequence in Halloween Kills. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
You give them far too much credit.
That's okay. I went as Bob.
Bob
from the original Halloween Kill with the sheet. Yeah. And my wife went as Linda, and she walked around naked with her tits out and just kept asking the kids, do you see anything you like? And some of them smiled and some of them screamed. No, I'm kidding. She just wrapped a phone around her neck.
I was going to say, it sounds like Kentucky, or it could be Alabama. Either way.
Next year next year
it's going to be the one that you win it all.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be wearing anything under the sheet.
You get a Walmart gift card and an all expense paid trip to prison.
It is easier, by the way, when you have a sheet over your body to walk around the neighborhood holding a sippy cup full of alcohol because nobody could see it. You just stand there like,
until it's like that ghost is so good. He keeps like woo around and falling into trash cans and shit. He's really going for broke.
Yeah, man, I've never been haunted by a drunk ghost before. By the way, how was everybody's fucking Halloween, man? How was all yours Halloween? And we have a Halloween party on Patreon Saturday night.
Sure.
Patreons, don't forget that. That's going to be a wild time at Ridgemont High. Jeffrey says, don't you dare lay a hand on my Chucky doll mocker, Jay. I'm going to come get your fucking EBT check.
It's already got a cold sore on its lip. What a surprise.
I'm going to get me some Cheetos and some goddamn magazines.
Ooh-wee. Nudie magazine day.
Slow down. Gary the guy says, I saw Clerks 3. I cried. It was a sad drama, not funny. I disagree. I thought it was sad as fuck. I cried and it was funny.
I feel like it balanced itself pretty well. There was a couple issues with it. I didn't, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, I definitely think that they overused one particular thing too much. But the other parts of it, I thought it balanced out pretty well. I didn't like, but the Elias thing got annoying. I will say I didn't like. Like it was kind of funny at first, and then it just kept going, and I was like, all right. I just want him to go back and kind of do his thing now, but all right.
Yeah, that's a problem with Kevin Smith. Sometimes he doesn't know when to stop. Like the goat joke in Thor 4. Not a Kevin Smith thing, but you know that that
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
like, okay, you did the same joke 5 fucking times now. Please stop.
I didn't know I had to fill in the file. I had a couple more lines. They said I had to have 1,000 words.
This shit was bad, man. Colton Candler, thanks, buddy. Good to see you. He says, I was talking about Sir Christopher Nelson.
Yes, he is knighted, by the way, if you guys didn't know. Sir Christopher Nelson.
That's around here. He's been knighted. What is that in reference? Oh, he said, oh, we missed that. We totally missed that, by the way. I'm glad you said that, Colton.
Oh, I meant, I meant Nolan. I thought he meant Nolan. What an asshole I am. I can't read.
Oh, that's
by the way.
happened.
Sorry, Colton. I literally just started drinking adult soda, so I don't know how I misread that.
Yeah, man. Honest to God, that would be fucking.
That'd be fine. Yeah,
he's currently, I believe. I think that was. I don't know if that's announced or official.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be careful.
He's away working on something that's going to take a very long time. So I doubt that, but that would be fucking sick as shit.
Yeah,
Colton.
Yeah, I'm fucking stupid. So yeah, I was like, why would Christopher Nolan? I was like, Colton's been up there smoking the candy smack. He thought Nolan was going to sign on to it, but yeah, Nelson makes sense. I'm just stupid. Sorry.
Thanks for clearing
that up. That's on me, though. That's on me. That's on me, dog.
G Stokes says, you think the new Friday the 13th will tease or at least Easter egg Freddy versus Jason? I would like to see a real team up. Sorry, Corey. I do not think that will happen. I do not.
Well, I mean, aren't they owned by totally separate companies? For one, I don't know why.
Freddy's,
I mean, new
right now,
Dimension.
Rights, no, right now, Freddy's rights. No, right now, Freddy's rights. They lie with the Wes Craven estate. So we don't know where that's going to go. I think there's a bidding, there's all that stuff that's got to happen. So
I do agree with the real team up. I want to see the real fucking rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, do the high fly. But at the same time, I really don't even give a shit if they team up or not. Putting Freddy in a prequel with Jason or doing anything like that, I feel like it kind of blurs. Because what they're trying to do is reboot the freshness of Friday the 13th, and I feel like when you start doing the versus thing, it's hit the end of the line. That's why Freddy versus Jason. I mean, you just had Jason X, and then you had Nightmare. What was it, 7? Which I like that one, but the series were dead, so that's why they did it. To get some life, to squeeze that last little juice out of the tip.
I think this sounds like it's going to be taken really seriously. It's going to have, it's not going to be, your grandpa's Jason. They're going to do some serious shit with this. So I highly, highly, highly doubt that they're ever going to do anything like that. Yeah. But the guy who's running it did say, he's like, I have 3 seasons written out so far. We're probably definitely going to get 2 seasons out of it, no doubt, based on the deal they signed. But he was like, if we make it to season 10, and by all means, I'm not saying we will, he was like, I'm totally taking Jason back to space. He was like, but in like a serious way. He was kidding around.
Yeah. I feel like that. You know what? To be fair, I think Jason X was good. I had fun with that fucking movie. It might not have been the greatest movie of all time. That was a pure popcorn fuck it movie, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was an entertaining piece of shit. Like a turd.
I loved that shit. I loved it. It had one of the best kills in it too. That freeze face and then smash, fucking badass.
Yeah, it had cool shit in it. I definitely think it was a piece of shit, but it had cool shit in it. And it was entertaining. So what do you want? Courtney Reed says Halloween 2028 for the 50th anniversary. Many people are saying that maybe when it comes back. And I hope personally it comes back a lot fucking sooner than that. But maybe the sequel to whatever they do will be in 2028.
I mean, 2028, I could see them. Yeah, I mean, I hope it's earlier too, but 2028 would be actually a good marking point if they were going to reboot. If they wanted to reboot the series, it'd be a good marking point. I don't know.
I don't want to wait.
We'll have to wait and see. Well, we got the, if we ever do like the Halloween shows or something on HBO, we'll have like content in between.
That would be sick. I wish they would do that with Michael too, for sure. Tyler says, dude, the chili cheese Hardee's burger was the bomb. I didn't try that one.
I never tried it. Yeah, it does sound good though. That sounds like a drunken creation. I got some chili cheese and a leftover burger in the fridge. I'm drunk as fucking skunk. I'm gonna combine them and eat them. Yeah. I feel like a man.
They come up with some good shit at Hardee's. But it's been a while since they come up with anything really good, like
I did try
lackluster.
I did try a couple days ago. They brought the Diablo challenge back at Arby's. It's pretty good. That's not a bad sandwich.
Diablo challenge. I have not heard of this.
It's like a Diablo. They did like a hot sauce, and then like, there's other hot. I don't know what they use. It's hot. It's got some kick to it. You can get it in the roast beef or the chicken, and then they also have loaded fries with the same sauce on it. It's not bad. I got it on the roast beef, the brisket. I guess fucking good.
I will be trying that this week. I'm gonna put
the chickens. Don't get the chicken. The chicken's kind of garbage, but the brisket's good.
I'm gonna do that shit.
Okay.
Derek says something stinks. Close your fucking legs, dude. Jesus Christ. I keep telling you that.
It's like close your legs, man. The war's over.
Shift's over, Derek. You fuck. Gavin says, love your channel since I was 15. Favorite skit film?
The one that we don't get old. Because that makes me feel old as fuck.
The Benjamin Button skit. Oh, man, that's a good question. Favorite skit of all the skits that we've ever skitted?
There was one that we did that we liked. I liked it a lot. I think it was a really funny skit, but it didn't really have any traction on it. It didn't have any wheels on it. I think I like the one that we did like for the fucking 1,000 years ago. We did the Exorcist one or something. I thought that was funny. And they got no fucking traction. I was like, God damn. We put a lot of work and time into that one, and that did nothing. Mike fell down the fucking steps. We used like a fucking wooden pulley system to pull Mike down the steps because we thought we were being safe. Like we were doing like 1920 special effects. Like, yeah, if he falls off the horse and breaks his leg, fuck it, but we got the shot.
Yeah.
It was good.
That was great. I had some nice rug burn on my body from that one. I'm just gonna, I don't know, man. That I'd have to really look back and really think about that. But for now, off the top of my head, I'm gonna say the blood sport skit that we did. I thought that was really fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, got the shit kicked out of me for that one too. We had that bamboo stick shit. That was a good time. I'll say that one right now, but I gotta think about that because that's a great question. Gary says, I heard they are making a Halloween series, but then it was from Giant Friggin' Robot, and I said, you son of a bitch, how you feel about a series? Yeah.
He said, you son of a bee, Mike. He's not cussing, okay?
You know, the Super Chat won't allow them. They won't free them for their curse words.
And by the way, Gary, I hate to break this to you, my sir. I know that you're probably from the European areas. That's not Ghostbusters, okay? You're using the bullshit Ghostbusters logo, all right? Get it together.
Who's a Hamburglar?
No, it looks like a hamburger. I'm kidding. I know what the symbol's from, but either way.
It's funny that you say that. Someone told me, reiterated to me again this week that, you know, all we do is drink and fucking curse here. That's all we do. That's all we're good for.
Who said that?
My mom.
I'll beat her ancestors up. Because she's right. You're right.
That's all you're good for.
You should be like, okay, what about you, Mr. Perfect? I'm sorry, your life is so good.
There was something about, someone said something about sucking dicks. I'm pretty sure it was just the song. I'm like, yeah, well,
I didn't. I mean, okay, and
and
men and women or men and men in healthy relationships not suck some dick? Okay, are we children? Let's talk about sucking wiener.
Words. You know, we need a free fucking curse words too, by the way. I think it's some people say it's a sign of intelligence to fucking curse. You know what I think? It's a sign of intelligence of unintelligence to be offended by cursing. You know why? Because you don't even know why you're offended by it. The only reason that you don't curse or you get offended when other people fucking curse is because somebody in your life fucking told you, hey, it's bad to do that. And you're such a bend over fucking, like, I don't even question the universe type person that you just go, okay, you say it's bad? I guess it must be bad. Anybody here tell me why it's actually offensive to use the word fuck or curse and I'll give you a fucking A8.
I was going to say, I don't know. I've heard the opposite. I was like, those that cuss have no intelligence to carry on a conversation with words bigger than fuck or bitch because they don't have the intellect to come up with complex words to express their emotions without resorting to fuck. But at the same time, I don't know, whatever. It's their words. Who gives a shit? They're not violent. If you want them to, if you're offended by them, then I would say take your tampon out of your ass and like knock on the door, open it up and say, wow, the world. Because they don't give a shit about your feelings, fucking little girl. I mean, oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody said bitch and fuck. Oh my God. My ears, they've just lost intelligence. I feel so violated.
Especially people.
They'll be on Reddit. They'll be on Reddit like, I was raped. They're like, what? Wow. I'm so sorry. How? These people said fuck. So I was audio raped. I was audio raped. And that'll be a new thing.
Yeah,
audio rape the thing now.
You know, it's yeah. I mean, is are curse words even in the fucking Bible?
No.
I'm pretty sure one of the 10 Commandments is "Thou shalt not say fuck."
Yeah, right? That's not even a 10 commandment.
No, some guy named fucking Bob said, I don't like that word, don't use it. And then a bunch of little bitches who have no backbone whatsoever said, you're right, Bob. And that's why you can't say fucking church.
Mel Brooks' History of the World, there were 15 commandments, and that goddamn drunk son of a bitch dropped it. And he said, 10! I have 10 commandments! Because have you ever seen that movie? That movie's funny as fuck, dude. He comes down off the mountain as Moses, and he's like, I have 15 commandments. And then he drops it, and it shatters. He's like, 10! I have 10 commandments! He has some good shit, man. But by the way, we're not talking about you, Gary. I mean, some people just don't like to cuss, and I get it.
I think they do that because Super Chat won't let them curse. Like, I think they block out.
I thought they put the asterisks on it.
Maybe they do. I don't know. No. Who knows? But either way, yeah. If you see a story by a giant freaking robot or giant butt fucking squid, or
that's the worst one. The giant butt fucking squid is the worst one.
Yeah, don't listen to it. But the sad thing is, I've had like 20 people come up. Did you hear about the Halloween TV series? And I'm like, give me a link? And they're like, no, it's from giant freaking robot. I'm like, oh well, yeah. I'm gonna move on in the middle.
I thought they were reputable.
That Scream 6 trailer that came out last week was amazing, by the way. I'm so glad that we listened to people on Reddit.
I know. I watched it.
Yeah.
You're dumb, Mike.
It's crazy.
It was real.
Yeah.
It was
Can't
real.
believe I didn't believe in it.
I know. Matthew Lillard's back.
It's the studios. It's not the guy that said that. He was right. The studios saw it. And they said, hey, we can't let this random guy on Reddit be right. Let's move the date.
Listen, Reddit is also reputable. Jesus Christ, Mike. Just burn all our bridges.
I feel like we're taking a turn in negative Nancy Town, and I don't want to.
You're being so negative. Stop it. Take your glasses off and look around.
All I see is blurry cocks.
Mike, put your glasses back on. Jesus, I couldn't recognize you.
Michael Parton says, what are your guys' thoughts on the Megan trailer, dude? I thought that shit is raucous as fuck. I love it. And I hate doll movies.
It looked okay. I mean, the Chucky, that was kind of funny. I was laughing in the theater. When I was like, I'm going to get you. It was like Zoolander trying to do a dance before he kills. I don't know. It was like, listen, the doll movies themselves, like, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Chucky. I never have been. Annabelle, all that stuff, they don't scare me like necessarily. I don't know why. Annabelle's a little different because she's more like she controls other things around her and makes supernatural things happen around her. She's almost like a battery pack for other supernatural things. So I get that. That makes more sense. But the fact that they just move around like, I'm gonna karate kick you because I'm a doll and I got a knife boot. Like, I'm like, fuck you. I'll just fucking beat the shit. I'll rip your goddamn head off, you plastic bitch. But I mean, I don't know. Like, but I think like in Puppet Master is fun. It's quirky and fun. I don't know. I feel like I'll watch it when it's available on like Amazon for free with ads, ads on YouTube.
I'm gonna go say it, like, and I hate the doll, the little people like Annabelle. None of that shit scares me at all.
Yeah,
Megan has a little something extra because her face is fucking actually scary. And two, she's controlled by the AI. And the fact that they're willing to go as crazy as having her be like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, this could be weird and different, but it is PG-13 which kind of like
that's what
shot
my
my
like. How do you know like when she's doing this if they're not gonna have like Taylor Swift song going on?
I'm excited to see how fucking weird it is, though, for sure. Jack Ryan Boyd, thanks, buddy. Says, I recently watched the Unsolved Mysteries Dr. Loomis skit. Very funny. It showcases both your acting chops. Very good. Mike, was it method acting, playing someone who slowly gets more annoyed at Jay? No, that's completely natural, my friend.
I
was the cameraman who was annoyed with Loomis. But yeah, no, that's not acting.
I'm annoyed at Mike 24/7. What the fuck you talking?
That's just basically how we live our lives. We're like the Hulk. It's like, aren't you always annoyed at Jay? And I'm like, that's my secret. I'm always annoyed at Jay.
And sometimes I like it. So he gets a little Eric Bana in there too. No, actually, it's weird. That Unsolved Mystery thing makes we actually had a whole thing. You guys remember there was years ago we did a Dr. Loomis Psycho opening where we were in front of like what looked like the Psycho hat or house. There was that's the area. There was like a little shed shack thing or whatever for like people that come and enjoy the beach or whatever, that we wanted to do a Unsolved Mystery thing there and kind of introduce Halloween Horror Month, but we never could get, like, there was a whole fucking process you had to go to. You had to get permits and shit, pay money. We were like, fuck that. And everybody already hated us. Remember we went to those offices? They treated us like shit.
Yeah, we tried to get like a way better location for that. But it's like, fuck it, we'll just do it in our backyard like we do everything else because no one loves us. Oops.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to skip that. Jack Ryan Boyd. Jason X. Let the bodies hit the floor. Ah! We actually did a skit based on that too.
That's well, yeah. Jason X is literally the music video come to life. I'm surprised there weren't a guitarist in every scene in the background going.
Hey, look it up, by the way, man, on the channel. We did a skit, not a skit, but we used a bunch of old clips and made a music video for Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
That's a great, but yeah, that's weird, dude. I think they missed an opportunity, like marketing. They could have used Let the Bodies Hit the Floor and really. I mean, nobody was going to take that movie seriously, but I mean that would have been a cool, like music video. I don't know.
Fucking A, dude. I would have watched it. They Call Me Stamps says one downside was there were some assholes following me around, harassing me, and wouldn't leave me alone. And legally, there was nothing I could do to them because they were minors.
Oh,
is this what were we talking about, Anthony? When
he was the one that was he dressed as Michael, and they were calling him Miguel, and then Aaron and stuff like that.
Damn,
I guess
were they band members?
Yeah.
Did you crush your yoo-hoo?
I guess legally on paper you couldn't have done anything, but dark alleyways happen sometimes. It's let them follow you down that way and be like, hey, you know what happened? He just fell over and he broke his face on the concrete. I don't know. That's weird. What happened to him? Jeez, Louise.
No. Hey, dude, people are fucking cunts, and if people are cunts, you just have to remember one thing. They were either brought up like shit or they are very sad and upset with their own lives. So they try to take it out on other people. So fuck them kids. You go out there and you have yourself a happy Halloween. And remember the greatest people on this earth were probably bullied by little assholes like that on Halloween.
Don't worry about it, man. Fuck them. Who cares?
Fuck those
they ain't never seen no titty except for their mom. Then they probably get breastfed still.
You're lucky Jay and I weren't there because we would have beat the shit out of all those little kids.
I would have called the police officers.
Nope. Please, I would have showed up to Jay's house like Ben Affleck in The Town when he shows up to Jeremy Renner's house, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, I need your help. You can't ask me where. You can't ask me anything about it. But we're gonna hurt some people." And
it sounds like one of our sketches. So I'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm going. I don't even know what we're doing today." Like, say, hey, it's like 9-year-old in the fucking face. Are we filming today? He's like, "Yeah." I don't even know what the fuck we're doing. Okay, I'll come on. Like, hey, today you're gonna pretend that you're a flower. Let's do that.
Pumpkin Daddy 90. That sounds sexual. Hey, your picture's in there. I think that's our fucking booth. It's scary. I know you're.
Oh yeah, it is. I remember that, dude.
Pumpkin Daddy. It's weird to call you that. I don't want to anymore.
Daddy,
you sexy sluts. Tell us who you want to play Jason B in the Peacock show. I would say to have Vincent, who played Ghost Jason. That would be dope. But I feel like Jay and I are going to be on the same page here, and we're both going to probably say Derek Mears.
Yeah, I think Derek Mears is like the best choice, man. Derek Mears. He's not only a great Jason, he's very intimidating, but he also was like a sweet soul. Like he really, really appreciates the fandom, the lore of Jason, and he had like you could tell he was honored to be Jason. Like I watched that, the making of the Jason or the Friday the 13th the remake, and the interviews with him, and he seems like such a down to earth dude, and like he really like he gets it. Like I feel like he's the same thing like as James Jude Courtney. You know what I mean? Like he really respects the material.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, like with the way they're doing it, where we're going to see Jason grow, I think it would be cool to have different characters come in and play Jason at different times also. Like Kane Hodder's he's not as, he's obviously not as big as he was. CJ Graham's still a really big guy. It'd be cool to have like in different episodes or maybe a different Jason every season or something. But I guess at some point when he's full grown, you're going to want to have some consistency.
Well,
to the way he moves and shit.
I kind of feel weird. I feel like Kane Hodder should start it because I feel like he got fucked real bad with Jason versus Freddy. So I would give it to him, but but if you're going to have the whole thing, if it was just going to be one Jason, I would pick Derek Mears. Because I feel like Derek Mears also, for me, Derek Mears is the Henry Cavill of the Friday the 13th series. You made one movie with him and he was awesome. And then he got butt fucked and never got to make another one. Even though Henry Cavill is coming back, which thank God. He actually gave up the role of, did you see that? In The Witcher season
to come back.
3. Yeah, Liam Neeson or Liam Hemsworth.
That would have been better.
Well, the lesser brother of the Hemsworth is coming back to play. Well, he's still big. I mean, he beat the shit out of us, but anyway, he's coming back. But yeah, Henry Cavill actually got emotional about it, which is awesome. I'm glad that he gets a chance to do Superman.
I'm fucking pumped about that. But also, Pumpkin 90. I think that
call him Daddy.
I think it would be call me by my name.
Yeah.
I think Vincent killed it. And I hope that, that would be cool to see him be one of those guys for sure. Yeah. Cause that guy did a great job. And Womp Stomp fucking rules. Dan Murphy says, hey fellas, how gas for you guys have to film in that Michael versus Corey fight. Also, can I get a nice tuck in your mask?
I didn't film it. I think so. This is a misconception. I didn't do the actual Michael, or obviously Mike was Corey. I wasn't Michael. Mike's neighbor Cameron was Michael. You guys had seen him before. He was in one of our other sketches. When we did the Office parody, he played I think Leatherface or something
no.
like that.
No, he played Jason.
Jason. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, there was. I can't. Well, I can't. We were gonna do it, and I was actually gonna play a different character, but we ran out of daylight initially when I came up there.
It started fucking raining.
Yeah, it rained. It fucking ran. Yeah, it was like thundering and shit, and there was a goddamn bats flying around. We were fucked.
Yeah, the whole plan was to have Cameron come over and play Michael, and then I was going to play Corey, and then Jay was going to play the asshole cop. Mulaney or whatever.
Mike didn't have to say a cop or anything else. He just said asshole. I was in.
Yeah, he was ready to go.
I was like, I'll just do it.
So that was originally that was supposed to be two scenes. It was going to be the scene with Corey, and then there was going to be a scene where the cop comes in there and Corey helps Michael kill him. And then Jay's character was supposed to be the one that was like, "Are you fucking coming right now?"
Yeah.
But we filmed the Chucky skit in the same night, and we were about to film that, and we had a small window of time, and all of a sudden, just fucking downpour. And based on our schedules, we weren't going to be able to get back together again. So thankfully, Karen was able to come over 2 nights later, and we banged that part out, and that's why we added the Loomis part, because we're like, we're not going to not have Jay in the fucking last skit.
I did that in my home. I did it in my home outside. You know, I was like, "Fuck it, man, I'll just do it." Well, actually, pretty much there would have probably been no Loomis ending to that if we had been able to do the 2-shot. If I were going to be the cop in it, it wouldn't have been needed.
Right.
Actually, one of the ideas I wanted to do too, I was like, well, how about Michael and Loomis end it where Loomis picks up Michael from after dropping him off at Pamela Voorhees' house.
From the first skit.
Yeah, from the first skit. But, oh well.
But it rained, so it wasn't our fault. We didn't drink too much. It was the rain. God drank too much. Kept peeing everywhere. It's bullshit.
Hey, Michael Morbius, it's Morbin time, bitch. Have you seen that yet?
No, don't want to. Don't
dude,
care.
You have to watch it. No, dude, it's fucking good. It's Morbin time. Dude, it's fucking awesome. I don't know why, but it's one of those things. It's like, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I get where it's so, like, some people think it's so bad it's funny, but you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it, dude.
I don't want to, Jay.
You have to.
I don't want to.
So you're not a 30 Seconds to Mars fan? Fuck you then.
Jay, I gotta pee really bad right now. Go.
I do too, but go, and I'll take over. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So, Michael Morbius.
Start with Michael Morbius and then go down.
What time is that?
8:36 p.m.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get up there. Okay. Michael Morbius.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go. Michael Morbius. Thank you so much, John. He says, "Me versus Myers. It's not about me, but Morbius." Fuck. That's crazy what you just said there. That's like Riddler-esque things coming from your mouth. I don't know what the fuck you just meant. I like it though. I like the style once you brought it too as well. DG, I don't know what you mean. I just saw DG's comment. Why is Jesus Christ offensive? I don't know. Is it offensive? I didn't think it was offensive. I guess if you use it in an offensive way, I don't know. Like if you say Jesus Christ on a pogo stick, I have no idea. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know why. James Smith, wow, coming in hot and heavy, says, thank you, by the way. Can we take just a moment to celebrate the fact that Mike had an article published in Fangoria? Our Wham boys are making gains. Here, have some money. Thanks, James. I didn't know that because I ain't reading no Fangoria. And Mike never tells me nothing. I don't know. Did he? That's good. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his small dick. No, I mean, I'm happy for him. That's great. I didn't know that, though. That's cool, though. And again, thank you so much. Yeah, I didn't know that. I gotta get back on Facebook, I guess. I don't know. I ain't in the fucking news. My fingers are like out of the current feel for what's going on. So I didn't know that, James, but thank you for telling me. Was that a long time ago? I think I knew about that. I don't know. Was that new? Shit. Gary coming back. I don't swear because I can't come up with better words. I do it because it's a good way to show how much I feel about something, or I use it to make things funny. Yeah, I get it, man. It's fine. And the thing is, you don't have to swear at all. I use the swear words just because I try to use like I in a funny way, but I get it. Some people, and it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. You don't got to explain yourself at all, child. I mean, I sometimes, I mean, I've been able to go without cursing before, but just sometimes you just want to be like, motherfucking cunt, cock, bitch. You're like, shit, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I mean, you guys should hear me on Xbox Live sometimes when I'm playing Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed. By the way, Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed, guys, it's multi-platform, all right? I'm talking about it's on PC, it's on PS5, PS4, it's on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. Come play with me, all right? Come be gay with Fava and I. I'm on Xbox, all right? But it's, you can add me. You know what? You guys, don't let me forget. I'll put my gamer tag. Can I type in here? I don't know if I can type in here. I'll tell you what my gamer tag is. You guys friend me, and we're going to play some fucking Ghostbusters together. It's good shit, though. Excuse me. Had to clear a dick out of my throat real quick. Alistair Jones says, hey, my last name is Jones, too. We might be related. Who knows? Hey, from the UK. Love you guys. I was watching Friday Night Fights round 2 from 2 years ago. I saw Jay say the bicycle joke that Halloween in stole. Thought on the thievery from Chalice and Loomis. Listen, Alistair, I will give you what you need. You got a badass profile pic that looks good. I like that. Leatherface, I assume the little YouTube thing is blocking it, but it looks like you're holding a cute little baby. It's an awesome picture. Jay said the bicycle joke that Halloween Ian stole. Thoughts on the thievery from Chalice and Loomis. I will let Mike know when he comes back from Wee Wing, and we'll do that for you. Alistair Jones, it's locked in here, but I'll wait for him to get back to do it. Michael Parton says, I love the Milo dance. That's really hot. Yes. I don't know. I really. Is Milo? What the hell is that? What the hell is the Milo dance? What the fuck is going? Milo and Otis? I remember that movie. When's the Milo dance? You know what? I don't even. Michael, I don't know. Thank you. I don't know what you're referring to. I have to ask Mike. Milo dance. Milo dance. Is that from the Friday 13th? Is that his name? Crispin Glover? Is that his name? Milo? I'm fucking stupid. I don't know. Pumpkin Daddy. I'll call you Pumpkin Daddy 90 times because your name is Pumpkin Daddy 90. Yes, say my name again. I would love to see a video from you two where Loomis and Michael are kicking Pamela's head around and Jason catches them. Yes, that would be fun. It would be complicated though because we would have to. I would have to pretend to play Pamela's head, then shoot Loomis. But you know we could do it, Pumpkin Daddy. And you're a daddy of pumpkins out there in the wild, and you know what you're talking about. You know why I know what you're talking about? Because you've had people call you Pumpkin Daddy 90 times. That's why your name is Pumpkin Daddy 90. That'd be fun. I don't know. We'll see. Like next year for Halloween Horror Month 2023. God damn, we're getting up there in the age, huh? It's going to have, I think we're going to do some crazy shits. It's going to be fun. Tomo got to just above Pumpkin Daddy, and I said, just us now, Jay. Yes, Tomo, it is just us, and we're having a kick-ass time, you and I and all of us. Okay, don't worry about it. Going on down, I think we've caught up, though, ladies and gentlemen. We have caught up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. You guys are badass. Thank you guys so much for showing up, turning out, and having a great time. We're going to talk about the Kevin Smith films. We're going to rank them from least to best, and we're going to have a great time. By the way, there is a super chat. I just saw one that popped. Give me 1 second that we need to do together because it's a Chalice and a Loomis thing. So it is from I'll tell you that so you can like highlight it or whatever so we know. Alistair Jones, and he had said it's at 8:47 p.m. Hey, from the UK. Love you guys. I was watching Friday Night Fights round 2 from 2 years ago. I saw Jay say the bicycle joke that Halloween Inn stole. Thoughts on this thievery from Chalice and Loomis. So I got to go piss real bad because it's coming out of my eardrums and I can taste it.
All right, when you get back, we'll do it.
All right. So I think that new one just popped though.
Okay.
All right.
I will get it. I also saw, by the way, when I was scrolling through these, very fucking sweet from James Smith. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate that. Yeah, man, that was fucking that was fucking huge for me. I've always wanted to be, because you know you grow up Fangoria and the fucking covers and shit like that, and you're like, man. But when I finally got that pitch, except that I was like on cloud nine. Same thing with Bloody Disgusting. Like I was like, I have a bunch of articles on there now, but like that is the coolest fucking thing in the world, dude. It's so fucking nice to be able to do that. I'm very, very proud of that. And you guys are all super cool about that. And I think, you know, part of the reason that, you know, that happens for me is because you guys read them and they do okay. So they sometimes let me do it again, even though I curse too much and probably embarrass them. But no, yeah, I'm really proud of that, man. Thank you so much for that. And for the super chat, obviously. But that was fucking cool, man. I was stoked about that. That put me in a good mood for quite a while, my good man. Let me see where, shit, where the fuck were we at? Someone tell me what timestamp were we at? He said he just saw one popped up. I'll go to the last one I saw from Inky, who said, I just want to apologize for all the horrible things I've said. Loomis needs to psychoanalyze me. I have problems. Teehee. I don't think you want that. I don't think Loomis is a good psychologist. I think he fucks people up. And while it might make you laugh, you're going to go home and end up crying on the toilet. So, you know what? You probably ended up better for that, Inky. Don't listen to that dark force, cookie woman. Don't you fucking do it. Pumpkin Daddy said, yes, say my name again. I would love to see a video from you two where Loomis and Michael are kicking Pamela's head around and Jason catches them. Well, dude, based on what we're hearing about the prequel, that it's going to be partly based on Pamela, I feel like we're going to have, Jay might not like the prequel idea, but I feel like we're going to get a lot of fucking fun Pamela stuff out of that. So that could be really fucking fun. Then I hope I'm not really going over the same ones that Jay went through, but Spinosaurus forever. Fucking Spinosauruses are awesome, dude. Them and Stegosauruses. My favorite is the Brontosaurus because he's calm and he only eats leaves. He's huge. He's got a big neck, but he's not a meat eater. I like him. He's adorable. It's my favorite dinosaur. Says, I'd like to see a direct sequel to 4 or remake the plot for 78 for the first 20 minutes, then something original. That way we can get a young Michael in the modern world without repetitive storylines. Yes, direct sequel to 4 is one of my biggest dreams. I would love that as long as we don't go with Jamie Lloyd as a killer. They still got to circumvent that somehow, but I would love to jump back into the franchise at one of the better points, or even jump off of Resurrection and keep it all canon. As bad as Resurrection was, now Laurie's gone and it's all about Michael. The best thing you can do for Halloween at this point is move on from the Laurie Strode storyline, and they've made it easy to do that. So either that, or like you said, like what they did with the flashback and kills was like, holy shit, we could do something crazy. But also, I feel like the way to cut ties and start something brand new is to bring in brand new characters, a brand new situation. Start this, not a remake. Nothing's the same except for Michael, and you just bring that character back in. But like you said, doing 20 minutes of the original where you establish Michael, he escapes from Smith's Grove and go from there and start with different characters and a whole new thing, that works too. I think it also works to just have a random town somewhere where Michael just shows up. You know, we know who Michael Myers is. We know his origin story. It's like Spider-Man. How many times do we have to kill Uncle Ben and tell the same origin story? If you just put some good characters in an interesting storyline and have Michael show up and try to kill interesting folks, I think we can get away with that. Like, I think that could work and that could spread out into new stories for sure. I also really think that a TV series for Halloween is the way to go, as long as you make it a really expensive, really big deal, so it's not looked down upon like the franchise has gone down, like an HBO Max or something like that. And then you could really spread out that lore, kind of the same thing they're doing with Jason right now. But also, subversively, also have in theaters Halloween movies start to come out, maybe a different timeline even. I think there's enough fan base. Halloween is the most popular horror franchise there is. I don't think there's any doubt about that, at least from my experience. So I think you could do both. You could have a TV series, then a couple years down the road, maybe you have a TV series now, and then 2028 you bring back the film series. It's a different storyline, best of both worlds. I don't think there's any saturation. I don't think there's going to be any Michael Myers fatigue. I think it's too popular at this point. So yeah, man, I dig your ideas. And at some point we will have videos and shit about that too, because there's a lot of cool places to go. Alistair Jones, dude, it's funny. Alistair is a fucking awesome old school 2000s punk band. They got some really good songs. Somewhere down in Fullerton. Have you guys seen Halloween 2 Asylum, a fan-made game? It looks good, so good. Maybe a commentary video. I don't know if that's the one we've watched. We've seen and done reactions from a couple different Halloween games that look dope as shit. And I would love a first-person Halloween game that actually... and much respect to the Friday the 13th game. I love it. What they did with that's great. But when it comes to Halloween, I would like for them to do a first-person, scary-ass fucking horror game that really tried to scare you and have you running from Michael Myers as like a singular storyline. That's my hopes and dreams for that. But yeah, we'll check that out for sure, dude.
By the way, Michael, I didn't. April reminded me. I didn't know what you were talking about. Please forgive. The Milo dance that you said was so sexy. He meant from Morbius, right? The Milo dance. That's what you meant. And yes, that was very, very hot. Okay, I will not lie. By the way, there's a video on YouTube that you can go check out for yourself if you want. That people in the theater are literally cheering because it's so corny, dude. He just starts going, ah. It's kind of like dig on this. It's kind of like that where it gets to that level of meme-ish. It's funny.
Does
as
that
fuck,
movie
dude.
get that fucking campy?
Yeah, dude. But it's fun. It's fun, dude. It's fucking fun. You got to watch that movie.
I don't believe you.
What? Oh, yeah. Okay. By the way, I don't remember. Yeah. Sorry. My woman's was telling me something. She cheated on me.
You shut her up.
She only said it because I was on stream and she knows I can't get violent right now. I know.
You're her safety blanket, internet.
Yeah. I was like,
violent outbursts.
My goddamn ankle bracelet will go off. No. Colton Chandler asked. He said that he tried to add me on the Ghostbusters game. Apparently, so I don't know how the thing works with adding friends because it is cross platform. So if you're on PC or PlayStation 5, 4, whatever, and I'm on Xbox, I don't know if you can add friends on your list and then play with you. I think it's just like I don't know how that works either. So I don't know what system you're playing on, Colton. If you're playing on PC or PlayStation, maybe you can't add me as a friend because I'm on Xbox. We're forever segregated because of the goddamn racist Microsoft and Sony. But no, I don't know. Maybe you can. Yeah.
Going back, the one you were talking about. What's the bicycle joke? I'm remiss. I can't remember. What was the bicycle joke that they stole?
I have no idea. I say a lot of things.
Well, we could just talk about how Blumhouse steals our jokes and uses them for movies.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just do that. Okay. You can go ahead.
In my business, I'm used to it. You know, you drink a fifth of Jack Daniels, you walk into the hospital and you smack an ass, you fix a patient, you save a life. You know, I see other doctors every day going home and be like, "Hey, man, I haven't seen my kids in 6 months either." And I'm like, "That's crazy." That's my thing, though. I drink Miller High Life. Now I see that you're drinking Miller High Life. Okay, I say Monday, and now you're saying Monday. And now you're cheating on your wife with young women whose fathers just died in the hospital, who you vowed to solve their deaths. So you're pretty much just ripping us off left and right. I don't know. Have you dealt with that, Dr. Shoe Handler?
Shut up, you drunk bitch. Listen, the only thievery that's going on here is the fact that you're thieving people from a real death that Michael deserves. Lethal injection, then the electric chair, and then butt-bucked by a soldier of Camp Crystal Lake people. I want him to suffer. I want his life to be over. I don't like him. His mask is ugly. He looks like Captain Cook turd.
Hey,
that's it.
You said
they
that you were
thieved us from a good death because I want to see Michael on the ground screaming in pain and wishing to God that his mother had aborted him in a clinic. And they will never have that happen. So shut your mouth with this thievery. All of the movies thieve. Because they thieve us from the real life Michael Myers who poops his pants, smells like vomit, and is nasty.
I don't look. You're coming over tomorrow night to show me how to use Tinder.
I'm not coming over at all.
Can you?
I don't even know what Tinder is. You talk about Tinder sirloin.
Yeah. Just either way. Can you just pick me up one of those Halloween Happy Meals from McDonald's? You know the buckets.
Yeah, but I thought you said you wanted me to. I thought you said you wanted me to show you how to use this thing called Grinder.
Grinder, yeah, that's the.
But I don't know what that is. You mean like grinded meat?
Adult ass finder. Yeah.
Oh, I see it. I know. I see it. I thought you were part of ChristianMingle.com.
You know, I don't need it. I just walk around the neighborhood and see chicks walking their dogs. You know, and just
you're just a walking, talking, fucking lawsuit.
I'm a doctor.
Good for you.
You know, yeah, it's no big deal. Thanks, Alistair.
Yeah, I know it's there. I always feel bad because it's like on the spot, and I know it's not up to the point. But hey, man, we do our best. It's hard.
Bicycles.
Yeah,
it's
goddamn bicycles.
Oh, I read that one. Okay, so let me see here. Eduardo Santiago says Halloween, the curse of the cookie woman. What's up, Mike? What up, Jay? Slapping the best.
Slap at the best. God, he needs some friends. I thought I had friends. Dude, that's a great fucking movie. I love you, man. It's so goddamn good. Movie, you gotta Hey, if you guys have never seen it or you've been afraid of watching it, it's really good. It's a true bro movie. It really is a good movie. Like it's like friendship and dudes like hanging out, like not knowing. I don't know. It's cool, man. It's just a cool movie.
Like
And there's
Sydney and I were just going through the checklist. What?
yeah. I mean, it's a disarming movie, but it's fun. I don't know. I liked it a lot.
John Carlin says, "Hey boys, really excited to hear the news about Friday the 13th TV show. What do you think Jason's mask is going to look like, or what would you like to look at?" I just want
good question. Good question.
Baghead. Just do Baghead for a little bit, and then give us the Jason mask, and I'm happy.
Nah, fuck that, bro. Bring me the goddamn NHL hockey mask. I want that fucking fresh mask.
Eventually.
No, I don't know. Yeah, the Baghead would be fine, but I don't know, man. You know, one of my favorite masks ever in Friday the 13th. And I swear to God, and I know the movie sucks. The movie does suck, but I just like the way he looked, dude. He looked pure goddamn maniacal, out of his fucking mind. It's barely on there. This bitch is barely hanging on like Courtney Love's Alibi with Kurt Cobain. Is the Jason Goes to Hell mask. I like the way he looked in the beginning of that movie and the end. He looked badass. I want a mask like that. Like where he's like all deformed and butt fuck ugly, like Toxic Avenger with a mask on it.
I'd be into that too, man. I gotta say, Maverick Media did say, "You're a whore, Peter." You remember that scene?
That's like,
you're like cigarette smoke. It's like, yeah, I kissed a guy.
Yeah, well, that was yeah, dude. That's a great fucking movie, man. I love you, man. It's really good.
It is. Speaking of great comedies, let's get into it.
Yeah, well, this movie's not going to be a great comedy here. The 13th on my list. The last, not gonna be good.
Oh yeah,
because that's as far from comedy as you get. That's like fucking anti-comedy. That's like the anti-life equation that Darkseid is looking for.
Our lists are a little bit different, so just to keep pace, so we don't fuck it up. There's one movie that Jay has not seen from Kevin Smith, and that is Yoga Hosers. So I'll just make
no way.
I'll make number 14 for you, Yoga Hosers, and Jay hasn't seen.
I was gonna say, well, I don't need to see it. Especially
I didn't hate it.
It'd probably be a -5 for me. I don't know.
Honestly, there was some funny shit in it, man.
Well, I think it's like I read the plot and I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't for me. That ain't for me.
It's definitely one of his weird.
That's like going into a Victoria's Secret fucking store and be like, hey, you want to try on these panties for men? Like, nah, I'm good. I'll just stick to Hanes.
There was some laughs in it though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, let me share my screen with you guys. And we'll get into we will rank all the Kevin Smith's movies together. So since you already gave your 14, I'll give my 14, which is going to be, oh, don't look.
What the hell was that? Did that say boy hair?
No.
What was going on?
It's Boy Harsher Radio.
What a turd he is.
It's good.
That's what he listens to as he's jacking off to the gay porn. That's fine.
It is. No, and
that's
when I'm riding, it's great. It's great music to listen to when you're riding because it's like pain makes the rhythm, makes pain.
Is that what it is?
It gets you in a they had it in the I just watched a horror movie, Terrifier 2. It's in their soundtrack. They have a song in the Halloween Ends soundtrack too.
I just watched that movie.
Halloween Ends?
No, Terrifier 2.
Oh, what did you fucking think about it?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good up to the last 45 minutes to 50. I'm like, fuck, this got stupid. They got fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like it got fucking real dumb. There's one part with the main survivor girl that they do some shit at the end, and I'm like, what the goddamn is going on? And then they introduce one little supernatural chick, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that was.
I just wanted a straight serial killer movie. Like I think they got so far away from Terrifier 1. That's where I was like, Terrifier 1 is way better as far as like an actual slasher film. This is like,
oh my god, dude! I thought 2 was fucking way better.
You thought so? I did not.
Yeah.
I feel like Terrifier 1 was perfect enough the way that it was because it was mysterious. There was a supernatural angle to it toward the end, but it was still one of those defined stalker like throwback nightmarish sequences where it's like a serial killer stalking you through the night. Then when they get into the second one, it might have been fine until they started introducing too much supernatural shit too fast, and then it loses its legs by the end of the movie. It's like, what the fuck did you just do?
Yeah. Like, what would you end up giving it overall?
I think in my head I gave it like a 6.
Yeah.
Or 5.5, a 6 or a 5.5.
My initial viewing was like a 9er. I was
God damn,
high on
dude.
it. I was
You's
fucking
really,
high on it.
you's
I
really
liked it.
having a good time with you, Faith. Yeah, for sure.
You liked it very much.
Well,
I just did a spoiler thing for it. I haven't edited or anything, and it actually did go down a little bit for some of the same reasons. But like, yeah, dude,
I don't know what it was, man. I wanted to like, because I think that I do think that Art the Clown is a really good serial killer, or like a new. I wouldn't put him an iconic killer yet, but he is definitely up there. Like he's making waves in all the right ways to get up there with like the Jeepers Creepers guy and like kind of be put in that echelon. But I don't know, man. What they did with him at the end of the movie, I was like, what the fuck? Especially the end of the psychiatric ward. I'm like, God damn, that's stupid. I was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen. And I've seen takes killing.
It makes me excited in my chachkas, actually. I thought that was cool, actually. But
they did that, but they did it, and they did it in a movie called Warlock 2, and it was done way better. They did it in Warlock 2. But I can't spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. But when you saw the ending, you're like, "What the fuck?" You're gonna feel like that guy. Remember in Die Hard with a Vengeance when he wears that sign in Harlem, and that dude playing basketball across the street, and you hear him go, "What the fuck?" That's what I felt.
I like a finger in the butt every once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
Just like
sometimes you want to be surprised.
That's kind of that movie's. They throws a couple fingers in your butt, not literally.
But no, but the gross out scenes, by the way, well, Mike had already told me. I guess the main one. But they had great special effects. They really did. They were good. I like the practical effects that they threw on it. I thought those were done like exceedingly well. But like this,
you motherfucker! I wanted their first viewing to be on a commentary.
Don't worry about it. I'll forget about it. Like especially after tonight because I'm drinking, so I won't even remember it. I actually forgot that movie after I watched it because I didn't like it that much. But I was like, all right, yeah, because the kills in it were decent. I did like the kills, but people were saying that. Oh my God, I was passing out in the theaters and I was vomiting and EMTs came out. I was like, bitch, I seen worse on Day of the Dead with Tom Savini. Don't give me that shit because I watched that. I watched the bedroom scene. I'm like, I mean, come on, y'all. If you think that's the worst thing you've ever seen, you've got to watch some Tom Savini shit. Because Tom Savini, I always reference Day of the Dead, dude. That shit was gross. That shit won awards for being nasty. Like when the dude gets his eyeball fucking popped and you see the milk juice come out of his eye, and then the guy that like gets his throat ripped out and his mouth is still moving. No. But also it was kind of funny when he was like, he was laughing in the middle.
That shit was hilarious.
I was like, yeah, it was kind of funny.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think that people throwing up and like passing out. I think people that aren't used to like the day that like that all that shit like that. So I think that's a little extreme. But I did think it was like top 5, one of the grossest movies I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Well, I mean, but to be honest, they said the same thing with Evil Dead the remake. I mean, they were saying people were passing out and they had to call the ambulance and people had to be wheeled out because they were having anxiety after the movie. And you watch Evil Dead the remake, you're like, yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, you're going to take people that never watch those type of movies, like they're used to fucking Disney goddamn Fantasia movies, and then they go in there and that's the first time watching a horror movie. Yeah, they're probably going to fucking pass out.
The lady I was next to when I watched it, like you could tell she didn't watch these kind of movies, and like it's a packed theater, like it's completely full. And as soon as the opening starts, she grabbed her purse and was like, and I was like, this is going to be a good time. It's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight.
Oh, wait, those are the best. I saw some people making fun of some people like that. Dude, those are literally the best people to take to see a movie like that.
Yes.
They're the best people to take it.
I love it. But I mean, again, also, like, you got to think too. Like, again, I didn't get sick or queasy or pass out or anything like that. So, like, if you know horror, like, you're not going to, but it's still fucking extreme as shit. And it just reminds me of Blair Witch. When we went to see Blair Witch as kids, I think you went with me, right? We went
we went to Kentucky
with,
Theater.
Lindsay and them.
Lindsay and Cody. And yeah.
You remember that lady coming out of the theater, runs out of the theater, and she's gasping. She's like, "Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God!" And we think, "Oh my God, we're about to walk into a fucking lion's den." And we watched the movie, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
I think that bitch was going through withdrawals.
I thought it was real. Like I did.
You know what it is though? The difference between that Blair Witch, literally, when you saw Blair Witch the first time ever and you didn't know nothing about it, they did a great viral marketing campaign when the internet was still young. They were the first ever to do that. They did an awesome job of selling that movie like it was real. And second, when you go and see that movie in the theater, that whole shit where they it's the first time you ever saw found footage. You get sick as fuck because it's it's like the way the camera moves and shit. So she could have been coming out like, I'm sick, not because of what's happening, but because I'm like dizzy.
You ain't never seen no shit like this before, son.
But hey, man, you know what? I will say the Art the Clown, great killer. I just don't like how they did him.
I mean, I have time. Like, there's tiny things that like I don't like, but I also, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't like that for this. Like, I thought we were on. To me, it's a Dark Knight version of Terrifier. Like, it's that much better in my. But like, I don't love what they did with those particular parts that you're talking about, but I also don't know where they're going to go with those. Think about Dream Warriors, right? Like what they did with Dream Warriors and how crazy that shit got. Like, that's kind of what it reminded me. So I don't love it, and that I took some off for it, but it didn't at all ruin the whole movie.
Well, with the end of the movie, I'm like, but where do you go now? Like, I mean, especially what spawned from it. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, but I think what
okay.
they might do, dude, is they may just keep making movies where they don't explain shit like that, and they just keep getting wilder and crazier, so that they keep that feeling alive of when you sit down to watch it, you don't know what to expect because they're not following any of the fucking rules. So that's kind of why I dug it, but also
it's very grindhousey. I mean, it's very grindhousey, which I do appreciate. But I guess maybe the safer play for me anyway. I would have done the old grab his dick and twist it. The old dick twist. I would have established him more and kind of gone the route that Halloween 2 did with Michael. And then you have like a Halloween 3 or 4. But I think it is what it is. You know, I'm glad it's out there because it was still, I mean, it still was a fun movie. Still a fun movie.
Yeah. My number 14 is going to be, I'm very going to be brief about this because it's cop out.
Yeah, that's what mine's going to be. I'll just go ahead and,
bad movie.
That's what mine is. That's a terrible movie.
Not wholly Kevin Smith's fault because you're in his shoes and you're directing Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis, like, and by the way, what he's going through is like a nightmare, like
really bad.
Thoughts and whatever to his family and stuff. Feel terrible for him, but at this point in his career, the stories were that he was a huge dick and refused to help make the movie good. So what are you going to do? You just got to push it together and push it out there. But Tracy Morgan also, like, he can be funny in the right aspect, but there was Tracy Morgan and Bruce Willis in a fucking buddy cop movie. It was never going to work.
Yeah. The synergy wasn't there at all. I feel I know they were trying to do, but I mean, it just never worked out. And it didn't help the fact that Bruce Willis was being difficult with Kevin Smith on how and also Kevin Smith himself. Well, this is the two different versions of this. Kevin Smith comes out and says that, well, Bruce Willis was being an asshole and he was prima donna. But then on top of that, Bruce Willis says, yeah, all Kevin Smith did was smoke dope all fucking day. And he would show up like fucking high and want to do shit. So I don't know who to believe. I mean, I might lean towards Bruce Willis because Bruce Willis is a fucking seasoned actor. And maybe he was like, I'm used to like people like doing their job and not being fucking high. And that could have been, he didn't gel with that kind of thing. And I think, you know, and I'm not saying that Kevin Smith did a bad job because he was high, but who the fuck knows? If Bruce Willis shows up and the motherfucking director's got goddamn dark side, red ass eyes, would be like, hey, bro, can you do it like this, like you did on Moonlighting? He's probably like, nah, man, why don't you fucking eat a cookie and come back later when you're sober?
Well, for me coming from then again, I hate this fucking movie, but like for me coming from like a repressed, you know, family when it comes to all that shit like that, I could totally see if Bruce Willis was like, he finds out that like maybe Kevin Smith smoked and probably did. Well, I think he started smoking later.
He started smoking at Zack and Miri, like Seth Rogen.
Yeah, that's what it was for sure. But maybe he was just offended, like he's not with the times. Like almost everybody fucking smokes pot. Like there's a huge percentage of artistic people smoke pot. Like it's totally normal. But maybe Bruce Willis was old school and was like all offended by it, even though it didn't affect Kevin Smith's performance at all, and just decided to be a dick. That's
well, I mean, no, I mean, he could have just been an asshole. I mean, and there's been other stories about Bruce Willis, but at the same time, it could have very well just been like, I mean, I like to drink alcohol, but if I'm working with somebody like Bruce Willis, I'm not going to drink a bunch of shots and then try to do a scene with him and sound like an asshole and be like, I'm directing Bruce Willis to do this stupid shit that makes no sense. And he's like, hey, why don't you not fucking drink before you come on set? Or, hey, why don't you
go between smoking and drinking though?
Like, well, I mean, if his eyes are
control.
Or well, either way, but yeah, it's just a bad movie. It had no synergy. Or they tried it, and look, if I'm gonna watch a buddy cop movie, either it's gonna be Lethal Weapon, or if I'm gonna watch a Die Hard, I'm gonna watch Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is Bruce Willis' buddy cop movie with Samuel L. Jackson, which is perfection. That's what I'll watch.
It also, like, I was going to say this too, like, I don't blame Kevin Smith for trying to make a buddy cop movie at all, because I'm pretty sure if you and I got into the industry,
I love it.
Maybe if we did a comedy or something and it worked, there's one of two things we're doing next. It's either a horror movie, another comedy, or a fucking buddy cop film. Like, you and I would probably do the same thing. Let's do a buddy cop film.
I would do it. And you know what? You know who I would do it? I would want to redeem it. I would take, I'll be like, I would beg to get Sylvester Stallone, to do a buddy, because he tried with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah,
and it was fucking terrible. I would love to do a Tango and Cash with Sylvester Stallone.
Could you imagine, dude, Stallone and Schwarzenegger?
And I know that, by the way, Tango and Cash might be the best buddy cop movie out there ever.
Yeah,
like it might be. It might be.
Wouldn't argue. I mean, I'd go Lethal Weapon, obviously, but like, yeah, it's a great one, dude. It's a fucking great one. My number 13 is gonna be Jersey Girl, and I love fucking Ben Affleck. I do. But this movie didn't. This is, to me, does not feel like a Kevin Smith movie. It felt like this was where he just did whatever the studio told him, right? And I don't, and give me a break here, because I don't remember shit about it at all. But
it was a basic sappy ass movie.
Yeah, it's like M. Night Shyamalan, Wes Craven. There's all these directors who have their first couple of films, and this wasn't one of his first films, but he took a different entry into the industry. Who have their first couple of films that were literally made for a studio. They did what they told him. Wes Craven did a music, not a musical, but a movie about like a music class. M. Night Shyamalan did something along the same lines. Same thing with Kevin Smith here. It feels like this wasn't even his movie, so it technically doesn't even count to me. You know?
Yeah, and I really hate to say that he was whoring himself out to Hollywood at this point, but it kind of does feel like that. It feels very corporate. It feels very manufactured Hollywood, basic rom-com. And I mean, Ben Affleck's in it. He's great. I mean, he's great. I mean, I think Ben Affleck's a great actor. Not always, but he has definitely grown. But this definitely feels like it's like let's make a basic bitch rom-com, and that's what it feels like. It felt like goddamn Jennifer Lopez Made in Manhattan. Don't get me wrong. I want to hear the story, but it's made in Manhattan.
and by the way, I reserve the right to go back and rewatch this movie at some point and maybe change my opinion. But I watched it once.
I literally watched it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3
so
weeks ago.
Again, and by the way, both Cop Out and Jersey Girl, I'm not very strong and bullish on my opinions on these, because like it's been so long. We went back and like when we were preparing, we were supposed to do this weeks ago. By the way,
months ago. Months.
Yeah. Like a month ago, like right before Halloween. Yeah. Or right before October. But like. These are two I didn't get a chance to go back and rewatch, so I'm not very bullish on these opinions. That's just that's how I feel, just based.
Don't be a bully, Mike. Goddamn, calm down.
What's your number 12?
That's gonna be Jersey Girl. I've already. By the way, we didn't talk about, like, again, we made these lists like a month and a half ago, so no, we didn't talk about these lists at all. But yeah, it's Jersey Girl for all the reasons I just mentioned. I don't hate Jersey Girl necessarily. I don't think it's a very good movie though. And it's the last movie of a Kevin Smith directed film that I would rent. Like if everything else was checked out at Blockbuster, and I'm like, oh, I guess I gotta rent it. If I want to get a little taste of, the comedy that I want, but it's barely there.
I'm honestly gonna go back probably sometime this week and rewatch it, man. Just because now that we've talked about it, I'm like, I gotta remember. Like I honestly don't remember, but my 12 is gonna be Yoga Hosers. The one that is only 4 things on Jay's list, but only because he hasn't seen it. There's things I like about this movie. There are things I love about this movie. That he put his daughter in the forefront, Harley Quinn. I thought that was dope as shit. Like, I love their relationship together. I think he's an all-time fucking movie dad, or like, Hollywood dad or whatever. I love how he puts her into his movies and their relationship. I think it's dope as shit.
Well, then I guess Rob Zombie's an all-time around husband.
That's different. Yeah, well,
I don't know about it.
If Harley Quinn Smith was naked in every fucking movie showing her ass, I'd probably agree with you. But like, he's doing it for her talent, not.
Well, I've never seen it, so I can't really comment.
But she's in a bunch of those. I think she's great. I think she could do good stuff. But anyways, Yoga Hosers, don't remember much about it. It's one of those movies where you watch it and like you're like, I'm on board, and then they're like, there's some weird hot dog shit. And you're like, what the? You went way too left field. Then you brought it back, and it's all over the place. There's a few laughs in there. There's a few patented Kevin Smith jokes. I do think Harley Quinn Smith was great in it. I don't remember much from it. I do need to go rewatch it again. I remember laughing a few times, having a decent time, but ultimately being like, that was too stupid for me to actually enjoy at the end of the day,
Sounds horrible.
So it was.
It doesn't sound good.
It was like Kevin Smith made a fan film based on his own movies, kind of, but.
Well, I give it to Kevin Smith. He got enough reputation. Well, actually, he came out and said that he wanted to make movie, like if he could just make movies with his daughter, like, and put her in, he would put her in everything.
And I love that. Like,
good for him. Good for him. But I mean, that doesn't always mean it's going to be good, though, bro. I mean, that's just the reality.
Of course, and that's Kevin Smith. Like he like we were talking about earlier. He went from making spaghettios. from making movies for himself and his friends to making movies for Hollywood to making movies for literally himself. And like there was an in between where he nails it, and then there's this way and there's that way. You know, Yoga Hosers was one of the extreme making movies for himself things, and just whatever. But
give me 1 second. Okay, okay. I had to remind myself why I had this movie where it was. I had to read a quick little plot line, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this movie.
I gotta read my own notes.
No, it wasn't a note. I literally went on Wikipedia, and I just got reminded of what it was. So my number 11 is Red State.
That's low.
Yeah, because I didn't think it was that good. I felt like it was a generic, like, wannabe action movie. It was decent enough, but I also felt like the way that it was handled and some of the actors in it, like it was just I don't know. I like there was kind of a flow to it, and then the flow kind of gets interrupted. I enjoyed it for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, now I feel like I'm getting preached at. Now I feel like you're on a soapbox. You need to stop now, and you need to calm it down. Relax a little bit.
I'm trying to remember. Was it the religious stuff?
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't religious stuff per se, but I felt like it was an attack on certain other things. But at the same time, I don't give a shit about that. But I feel like I don't want to see a movie where it's like politically motivated, and I do feel like this movie was politically motivated. But beyond that, I feel like the action sequences were decent enough. But I also feel like the action sequences were shot like shit. Like particularly when the gun violence happens or whatever, you have a moment where it cuts the camera off. You don't even fucking see it. It almost feels like you didn't have the money to shoot that scene. Like there's literally when they're shooting the guns, like usually in an action movie, you'll see someone shoot the gun and then a camera will cut to someone getting eviscerated or them ducking the bullets or some shit like that. You don't have that. It's like, oh shit, I ran out of film. I can only shoot these motherfuckers. I feel like Red State was decent enough. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but I feel like it was a poor attempt at an action movie. And I just don't like that preachy shit. I don't like the, you can, it's your movie, man. You can make what you want. I just don't like that shit. But at the same time, it had nothing to do. I'm Christian, but I'm not like a practicing Christian because obviously I say all these dirty words. But I just like it. Just do. I don't know. Like there was something about it that I just didn't like. I mean, it almost kind of came off as like The Purge, the movie that we reviewed when it was like I can't remember The Purge, what movie that was. The third one or the fourth one, where like you don't need to divide your audience and then make it feel like, well, this is partisan in one way. Because listen, I mean, there's crazy assholes on both sides, and I feel like you were trying to disguise that, and you came off miserably. You came off bad. But I did like the bad guy in it. I think the preacher was great. I love that guy. I think that guy is a really good bad guy. He actually was in Tusk, and I liked him too.
I think he's a great his name because he's a fucking awesome actor.
He's a great actor. Great actor.
What I always forget his fucking name. It's Michael Parks.
Michael Parks, yes, really good actor.
Did he recently pass away? Yeah, he passed away in 2017. That dude is amazing, man.
He was great.
And
he was great.
John Goodman was in that too. He was
and John Goodman, but John Goodman was in it, but he was only in it for. I guess they couldn't afford him for as long as. I mean, he was only in it for a little bit, but when he was on it, when he was in it, like it was great. I don't know, man. Like Red State, like I just feel like this was his attempt to make like some kind of really good political, and not in the bad way, but a political thriller with like some action thrown in there. And to me, it just comes off as kind of soft. It just didn't work. I mean, because listen, I mean, if I were Kevin Smith, and to be honest, and I had this plethora of movies behind me, the last thing I would do is do action movies. I just wouldn't do them because if I were known for doing these like comedy and out the crazy shit, I just stick with that. What I know.
See, I saw Red State as a complete horror movie. I didn't see it as an action movie. I mean, I know that you have like the end with everything that happened, but like, yeah, I kind of watched it as a horror movie. But I mean, I'll get into that.
It is what it is. Yeah.
My number 11 is going to be, and this is another one of those lists where, and just to give a preface to you guys, I think like probably 72% of Jay and I's humor and personality probably comes from Kevin Smith's movies.
Yeah.
So we grew up, imagine Jay and I in what 1999, maybe. Around 1999, something like that, watching these movies, smoking his mom's cigarettes when she wasn't looking and laughing our balls off. Like this is
Misty Slims.
Jay and I grew up with the Mallrats and the Clerks and shit like that, and it literally formed this horrible, terrible, vulgar, awful channel that you're watching right now.
Yeah, we were too young.
Yeah, we owe a lot of what we fucking do probably in our humor to Kevin Smith.
No, I disagree, sir. I believe that we owe How High with Redman and Method Man.
That's a part too, or Half Baked,
or Half Baked.
But yeah, but Kevin Smith movies were a big part of that too.
They were.
Like, you know what I mean? And I love his attitude towards life, and I love how they're like, "Fuck you, I'm going to be 30 and gnarly, and I don't give a shit." And yeah, we're the scum of society, we're the Jay and Silent Bobs, whatever. But these people have deep personalities too, and they have deep. I'm not going to go into that, but like, yeah, like I love Kevin Smith.
They have deep dicks.
Deep dicks. But as we go into number 11, I'm already starting to get to movies that I really fucking love.
Yeah, they're good
already. My number 11 is going to be Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Woo-wee. That's for me. That's low. I actually like that movie.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like this movie. I do. I love how Seth Rogen and I think it's Elizabeth Banks. Is that her name?
Elizabeth Banks. Yeah.
Are broke as fuck. It shows two people like in their midlife or whatever, their 20s or whatever, being broke as shit, not being able to pay the heating bill. I love all that stuff. I love that they brought Jay in. It's a weirdly strange original story for Kevin Smith that also kind of ties just the tiniest bits with like the characters like Jay in it being the View Askew universe and all that. It was like it's like almost a Judd Apatow / Kevin Smith movie. It's a strange outlier in his filmography, and it had some great jokes in it. Justin Long's character, fucking hilarious, as we talked about earlier. Amazing cameo by him. I think sometimes it got too uncomfortable, and maybe that's just like the inner.
I'm sorry if you want me to butch up and act like I don't like it when I suck your dick.
Daryl from The Office is good too.
And Brandon Ruth was in it. That's his boyfriend.
Not to be an old woman who's clutching her pearls, but I think the reason sometimes it would be like, all right, this is too much. Like, I don't want to watch this dude's girlfriend fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that
that's
whole
weird.
Thing
yeah,
got me a little bit uncomfortable, but still a really fucking funny movie. Relatable characters that was just wild and all over the place, and it's basically Kevin Smith's Judd Apatow movie in my mind. I like how
I remember that. I can't do for the life of me. I can't remember his name. I should. The black dude that they hang out. What the fuck is his name? Because he's great.
Daryl from The Office.
The black guy.
Yeah, he's the warehouse guy from The Office.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. I can't remember his name though. But he's
in the pizza commercials now.
He was at the Starbucks or whatever. He was like, the guy was
Thanks,
like, excuse me,
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. Yes, he was like, excuse me, can I get a coffee black? He's like, can't you see we talking white? and then he was like, he said something about like they were coming up with Star Wars porno names. He was like, Revenge of the Porn or Revenge of the Tit or Cock or something. And they're like, oh yeah, that's and he's like, fuck y'all. I love, dude. I thought that movie was. I feel like that balanced exactly the role, because I kind of got teary eyed at the end of that movie when Seth Rogen and her kind of reunite and the whole thing that happens with "I love you" and shit. I don't know why, but it felt like a perfect balance between the dirty, grody type of humor that Kevin Smith is known for, and then it mixed really well with this perfect romance that he was telling. I don't know. I feel like it was one of those movies that really did justice to both genres that he likes to do.
Yeah, I like it. And again, we're at the point now where I'm talking about a bunch of movies I love. So,
yeah, all these movies are good. Yeah.
What's your number 10, motherfucker?
So my number 10 is going to be and you know, it might be a shock to some of you folks, maybe not, but maybe some. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is my number 10. It was not like, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
Reboot,
I feel like
right?
The reboot, yeah. I did not expect it to be as bad as it was in some aspects. I feel like it was very sometimes it was just corny and it was overacted, and sometimes the jokes were just fucking terrible, and they were like, god damn, you guys are... the one particular scene that I was like cringing at was the Brody scene. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was bad. Yeah, it was. Well, not even that. Like, it was just the way that they were interacting. It almost felt like he didn't even want to be there. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't. I mean, obviously he showed up, but I just felt like it wasn't. And then I heard a rumor that Ben Affleck only showed up in that movie because he happened to be at the same convention. Like, he didn't even want to be in it. Like, Kevin Smith kind of like cornered him and got him to do that scene. And that daughter that, you know, he's got or whatever in the scene is actually Jason Mewes' daughter. And that's why there's like a chemistry between them, which is cute. The best part of that movie was Jay talking to his daughter when he actually got emotional, and it actually showed him to be a pretty decent actor, like a better actor than I even give him credit for. But there were some things that were just way over the fucking top that were so goddamn corny and stupid. The Silent Bob getting to the Iron Man suit and doing the whole fucking thing at the end. I'm like, God damn, guys. Like, I get it. Like, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back was funny, but that was like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Sometimes the jokes run dry, and sometimes you play on the same shit too long, and then it's irrelevant. I mean, me and Mike have been doing that for a long time, so we're goddamn Confucius in this area. Okay, we are Confucius. Yeah, motherfucker, we should put out fortune cookies on this kind of shit. But to me, JSL Bob reboot was like, when I first watched it, I was like, man, fuck this movie. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, yeah, I like those scenes with Jay. But then what I really didn't like also was the fact that it tried to focus on Harley. I can't remember her name in the movie. Kevin Smith's daughter. I wanted to be about the friendship between Jay and Silent Bob. I wanted that to be the main focal point going forward, just like Strikes Back was about them. They're connecting, but now it was like, oh, well, we got to throw the daughter in here, and now this is all, it's cool, and I get it, and I get why they did it, but at the same time, I was like, man, this was the last time you were going to see Jay and Silent Bob really in a solo movie by themselves. You could have done something better to send them off on their way, but it is what it is.
My number 10 is Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
I swear to God, we did not plan this.
That's not. Everything you said is true. So this is one of those movies that the first time I watched it, it's kind of the flip of Clerks 3 for me. The first time I watched it, I absolutely loved it and adored it. But I think I was just really hankering and needing some of that old school Kevin Smith comedy. Yeah. The second time I watched it, I sat and went, oh, God, some of this is just awkward. Yeah. Like, especially like you said in the comic book store with Brody, I was just like, this feels so forced. And you're actually just taking the same jokes, right? Yeah. And you're doing them again. And it's just, it feels weird. And
it almost looked like he was smiling through it, though. Like he was like laughing on camera about like, oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah, and his characters were always so edgy in the original films, right? They were so like, they were like shocking what he would say. And this time he's just like, I'm just doing it's like a dancing clown sort of thing. Yeah. And then, and that's kind of how it is. I think that's the thing. Like Kevin Smith is a huge, huge comic fan. Obviously, that's what he makes his career on, right? So he's
what a fucking nerd.
He's of that class that really fucking loves fan service and callbacks and all that shit. And I think it's to his own detriment, though. When you're doing fan service and callbacks to your own movies, and Clerks 3 is guilty of this a couple times too, just not nearly as bad. He does the Force Awakens shit for his own movie, from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back to this a million times, and it's just like, oh man, it's too on the nose, it's too oblivious and obvious. And so it just didn't work.
Well, sometimes those jokes just don't work anymore. They just don't.
Maybe a new spin, something, but what really brought it home for me, the reason it still makes my top 10 and I love all these movies, is because, as you were saying, the ending, while it got a little bit too crazy with the Iron Man suit and the convention and all that shit going on, by the end of the movie, the whole thing, and it's so funny that you mentioned that Ben Affleck wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
But that brought it home for me. Like, that made me cry. When
that just shows you how good of an actor Ben Affleck is, though. Like, that's how great of an actor he is.
Yeah, when he's talking about what it's like to be a dad, and like you always see yourself on that stage, but now it's about her being on that stage, and where that like brought the whole movie home. It was like the cornerstone of the movie. The first time I watched it, I was like tearing up. I was crying. I was like, fuck, I get that. Like the whole thing. And I walked away with rose-colored glasses. I watched it again and I saw all the flaws in it. So still love the movie. It has a great landing point. And it's got a few great jokes in it, but yeah, you're right about everything you said.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, Mike. Do you wear G-strings regularly or thongs?
Definitely G. Well,
okay, I'm just making sure. No, actually, no. I got emotional. at the van scene when she talked about not meeting her father, and he's like, "Your father's a piece of shit."
Yeah.
I was like, that one hit me hard, and I don't even got no goddamn kids, but that one hit me. I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Kevin Smith in his late career has gotten really good about throwing emotional grenades.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, well, the lines were great, but Jason, again, I think I'm saying Jason Mewes, right? That's Jay.
Yeah, he was awesome in that movie. By the way,
that's what I'm saying. Like his acting performance in that was incredible, really good. So totally anyway, my number 9, and I gotta go piss after this really bad again. I don't know why. Right. I guess I got.
I'm right there with you.
So my number 9 is gonna be Tusk. I actually just watched this movie for the first
I've been
time.
begging you to watch this for so fucking long.
No, Mike
Sorry,
never
go
mentioned this movie ever. Ever to me. He said, "Don't ever watch this movie." And he did. He said, "Don't ever watch it. It sucks." No, no. I watched Tusk. Well, yeah, Mike told me about it. When we were going to do this list, so I watched it. It was the first time I watched it a couple of months ago. Not bad. I got a little annoyed with Justin Long's character a little bit. I mean, he was kind of funny, but then I kind of felt like this DJ persona thing that he was doing over and over and over again. He was like, "Hey, bro, what are you talking about? But let's get some liquid milkshakes." You know what I mean? Canadians, how boot a fucking receipt. He kind of got annoying a little bit. And then Haley Joel Osment's character, kind of the same way. I was like, too much of him. That's too much of him. Like, I like Haley Joel, but it's like, and then Tusk itself, the movie, kind of creepy, kind of weird, definitely out there. The ending fucking sucked, asshole, fucking stupid, fucking dumb. Especially what led up to that, the whole goddamn ending sequence between the master and the commander of the seal versus it's fucking so goddamn stupid, so fucking stupid. Because what I felt like we were trying to do was like this is the great value version of the human centipede. And I didn't think anybody would actually go out of their way to make the great value version of the human centipede. But by God, Kevin Smith said, "Hand me a director fucking camera and I'll do it." And he did it. He did do it. I did not like this movie really as much. Like number 9, it's better than what came before. But I think Tusk is overrated as a horror movie for sure. I think it's weird. But and it has some decent. I actually like Johnny Depp's character in it. I think that Johnny Depp was actually funny in it. I feel like it brought some like actual
fucking movie.
No, it's funny. But especially this was Kevin Smith's attempt to add black dark humor into the film, like almost like Johnny Depp was a Bruce Campbell type of character. Like I felt like that was his Bruce Campbell, and he was trying to add this hilarious inspector that was French, and he would say weird shit. I feel like Justin Long did a good enough job with it, with what he had. But dude, goddamn. There's parts of this movie that I was just like, why? Like, why? Like, it got to a point where it's like, now you're just being weird to get like an accolade or something. You wanted a ribbon for making a weird movie. Like, you saw the Human Centipede, like, I can make a weirder movie. The thing about the Human Centipede, though, the Human Centipede is disgusting in of itself, but it's actually a good horror movie. Like, it actually is a good horror movie. And I feel like what Kevin Smith did with Tusk was he was trying to make a good horror movie, but then trying to make it like Evil Dead-ish with the comedy, and it just failed. Like there was no comedy in the Human Centipede. It was just straight fucking horror. Like it was disgusting on purpose. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Tusk is it was still a good movie. I mean, I enjoyed the performances overall. The bad guy was great. The Michael what was his name? Michael Parks. Great. Loved him. Awesome.
I hope you have a painful pee. That's what I think.
Well, the interaction between him and Johnny Depp is fucking hilarious. I did think that was fucking hilarious. But those were seasoned actors like playing off each other. They did an incredible job. It was fucking great. But I don't know, man. Tusk is one of those movies I watched him like, I'll never watch this again. I'll never watch this again. But it's better than everything that came before.
You're a disgusting whore, and I hope you pee on yourself when you go to the bathroom.
I'll pee in your mouth later, and I'll save it for you. Okay?
Don't promises.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'll be back.
All right. I want to let it be known, clear and full frontal male nudity. I disagree with everything that man just said. And I moved to strike. Mercurio 80. I'm kidding. Mercurio 80 says, "Sorry I'm late. I was busting ghosts with my friends." Yeah, ghosts is what you were busting with your friends. We all know what you do up there in your bedroom, Mercurio. It's okay. Just be honest about it, We all live life on the wild side sometimes. You be busting something. Fiery Phoenix. Thanks, buddy. Says, "Hey, Mike, I'm having a stroke, and my name is Greg." He says, "Hey, Mike and Jay, you guys are great. Your channel, content, skits, and insights. You guys work hard, are hilarious. You each have your own take on things, and you take nothing for granted. Rock on." Goddamn, Fire, you trying to make me fucking cry or what, dude? Shit, I needed that compliment this week. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. No, that's seriously very insightful and very sweet of you, and I completely agree with everything you just said. That was nice about us. But no, man, thanks. That was a really sweet comment, and we really do appreciate that. 100% for sure. And I agree with you. I think you're absolutely right. Gary says, thank you, buddy. He says, I was telling someone who the MK fighters, Mortal Kombat fighters, are based on the other day, and YouTube deleted my comment because of all the references to other franchises. What the hell now? That's even a thing. Who knows, dude? YouTube does some crazy shit. YouTube just tries to make their own fucking website worse sometimes just because they get bored. They're like, hey, how can we fuck somebody over today? I swear to God, we have these spammers coming in and trying to spam you guys. And by the way, if you're watching this, if someone responds like, hey, you just want a PS5, don't listen to it. Delete that shit. Just walk away. But I've been telling YouTube for months these people are doing this to us and trying to screw you guys over. And they don't hear a thing, never hear anything back. But by God, every day I get a fucking email. Hey, this video from 9 months ago that got 1,200 views is copyrighted. You said fuck in it. So kiss your ass goodbye, and I hope you die. They will catch that shit, but they won't help us stop you guys from getting spammed. So yeah, who the fuck knows with them, dude? I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm on some tired of people's shit stuff tonight. Gabagoo! I love your fucking name. Says Tusk was better than Barbarian, more disturbing. God damn, I love both movies. I love both movies so much. That's a great question. Fuck. If I had to pick one right now, go, oh my God, I think I'm going to pick Tusk. I think I'm going to go with you on that. But I did love Barbarian. I did. Going back to the listicles from my testicles. Nature. What am I talking about right now? I'm going to go with my number 9, and it's going to be, why do I sound like Tom DeLonge? Number 9, where are you? And I'm so sorry. My number 9, I'm sorry for that, and I apologize to everyone. My number 9 is going to be Red State. I fucking thought Red State was pretty dope. I thought Red State as a movie was really haunting, and shout out to, who's the fucking dude? He's in like a bunch of, where he was in Scream. Bad baby. Kyle Gallner. I thought he was great in that movie. Such a cool movie that like ties together this group of kids that meet this chick online and try to go to her house, and then she tricks them into going, and then all of a sudden you're in a church, and Michael Parks, like church cult stuff scares the shit out of me. All that stuff scary as fuck to me. The way he told that story, the crazy, nutty religious cults scare the fuck out of me. You bring in John Goodman to add some levity to that scene, and then the sirens start going off, and you're like, is the world about to end? That was intense as fuck. I loved Red State, man. I thought Red State was a fucking underrated horror movie for sure. I thought that movie fucking ruled. And again, I know we're getting high up in the list, but if you haven't seen Red State, holy shit. Wow. That got me, because that kind of crazy psycho religious shit just scares the fuck out of me. And the way they were handling it and doing it, and they tied it into Waco with all that stuff. And then you bring in John Goodman. I thought that movie ruled. And Michael Parks is scary as shit as one of those psycho fucking religious nutcases. I loved Red State. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, fucking watch it, especially in this day of Tinder. And did you guys hear that fucking sneeze? I meant to catch it at the end, but a soul left my body like fucking Shang Tsung just now. I was speaking midway through the sneeze. Holy shit. The Holy Spirit just literally left my body. I'm but a husk of a man now. It's all that's left. It's all that's left. Of everything we always swore we never would forget. Jesus Christ, that slept out like a fart in the night. Oh, WebMD, trust me, Tomo, I have seen every corner of WebMD as a person with medical anxiety. I basically could probably pass a fucking medical bar exam right now. And you're right, I am going to die. That's what it tells me every fucking day. Number 8 is going to be your mom and me. It's going to be Chasing Amy for me. I love Chasing Amy. I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of those movies that like, it ties into this, it just naturally fucking at some points narrows itself down, and against all odds just becomes a fucking Mallrats, a Clerks. I think he was trying so hard to do something more highbrow than he's known for, and do this really romantic. I feel like there was some actual emotion in this movie. Like he was trying to come from a natural place and tell this story. And I think he wanted to get away kind of from the Mallrats stuff a little bit. But it just naturally found its way into the movie. And like so many times when an artist tries to shed their skin of the things they've done before, it found its way in, and it was the best part of the movie. The whole Brody being in there with the, what's a Nubian? That shit, finger cuffs, all that stuff. the relationship with Ben Affleck and her, and all that stuff, the friendship between Ben Affleck and Jason Lee, all that shit. Just an amazing. It's kind of like So I Married an Axe Murderer. Like it reminds me of that, like one of those old school '90s like coffee house type of films that were trying to be a little bit higher brow than they maybe were, but they were just trying some shit, trying some new ideas. It falters at times, but it's got the heart of a Kevin Smith movie, but it's actually like a well written, really good story too. I love fucking Chasing Amy, and I love
anything.
I'll give you
$100 bills. They could have had that music, that soundtrack for that whole movie. Yeah, Chasing Amy's fucking dope. I love that movie now.
Is Chasing Amy your number 8? Because I think it is.
No, it's not. My number 8 is going to be Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Oh, right. I'm going to go.
Yeah. We talked about that before, but I think that this movie, again, I'll reiterate, I feel like it strikes the perfect balance with Kevin Smith's storytelling. I think it's the raunchy comedy that you want to see, and then it's also the heartfelt tearjerker kind of movie that Kevin Smith wants to make as well. I feel like it strikes a good balance between both. Again, I watched this movie a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, for the second time ever, and to be honest with you, man, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think that the acting in it was incredible. I think that there was a lot of chemistry on set. I feel like everybody was doing a great job with their roles. And I feel that, yeah, man, at the end of the movie with, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for you guys, but the reunion between Rogan and Elizabeth Banks was incredibly good. I feel like it was very heartfelt, and I loved it. I thought it was, I got teary-eyed. And I never thought, it's like, hey, man, what movie did you see last weekend? I saw Zack and Miri Make a Porno. I'm like, you fucking sick dog. Was it good? Was there a lot of fucking going on? Like, kind of. But I cried at the end, like, man, you in some weird fetishes. I'm like, no, man, it was like emotional. It was romantic. Yeah, man, I liked it. I felt like it really struck a balance between comedy and romance, and it was really, really well done. It was incredibly good. And then obviously Justin Long stole the show. I mean, he was hilariously funny. When Seth Rogen's talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I didn't mean to offend. What's your demographic?" And the guy, Justin Long's character, Brandon, says, "Do you like pussy?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Then not you." It's so good, man. It's so good. Justin Long is incredible, and he's probably the highlight of the movie. If you guys have never seen Zack and Miri Make a Porno, watch it at least to get to the Justin Long scene at the high school reunion. It is so good. It is so hilarious and funny. But then overall, though, it still had great moments with other characters in it. But and again, I feel like Jason Mewes does a great job in the movie, especially toward the end. And yes, maybe I'm guilty of drinking a little bit before I saw it, and I was a little bit emotional at the end. But I mean, I think the ending was incredibly good, especially what he gives him, like I don't know what Jason Mewes calls it, like the Dutch, jack off situation. I don't know, but it was like it was handled really well. I don't know. I liked it a lot. So that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. You guys can have a different of opinion, and that's fine. It's okay. We're all going to be friends at the end, and we're all going to have safe sex. So I guess I'll just go ahead and go to my number 7. I'll update Mike on my number 7. My number 7 is going to be Clerks 3. That's the most recent Clerks that came out. I watched this movie, and I gotta say I liked it pretty well. I think they did a pretty good job with the wrap up of the Clerks movies. I feel like they overstayed their welcome on certain situations or certain sequences, mainly with Dante and Randall. I feel like you could do one thing and then that makes sense, and the gut punch is there, but you don't need to go back and do it again. I don't know, but yeah, man, it was funny. I think there was a lot of funny moments in that movie, and I really thought they did a good job bringing those out, and a lot of nostalgia. But the main thing that drew me to it was the friendship part of it. I think that My favorite scene of that movie, and I'm not going to give it away. I don't want to spoil this for you guys at all, 100%. But is at the end of the movie where Dante, and I'm not going to give you context, so again, it's not going to spoil it. But Dante is in the movie theater with his woman, and I can't remember her name, from Clerks II. And you know, if you watch the movie, you'll get this reference. But you know, she's like, "Aren't you going to stick around and see the ending?" He's like, "No, I trust it. He's my best friend, dude." That choked me the fuck up. I thought that was incredibly well done. It was so perfect, and such a great wrap up to that friendship. I just thought it was great. Elias, I think Elias could have been handled better, to be honest. I think Elias's character in Clerks 2 was fucking great. I think he was amazing. And I feel like they kind of magooed him a little bit in the third one. You know, the whole thing where his personality is changing constantly. You know, I like, it was funny for a little bit, and then it kind of got like, what the fuck is you doing, dog? Like, I'm done now. We can stop. We can go back to other things. Iron Wolf says, by the way, that's my opinion, by the way. That's just an opinion, but if you guys disagree, it is what it is. Iron Wolf says, I won't watch Clerks 3 because Clerks 2 was so good ending, and I heard Clerks 3 sucks. Iron Wolf, you gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it. If you're a Clerks fan, you gotta watch it, all right? Just give it a chance. Give it a chance here, bro. Just do it one time. Just do it once, all right? It's not gonna hurt. I promise. I'll use lube. Just do it once. But yeah, Iron Wolf. I mean, for real. If you like Clerks, if you like that series, and you like the relationship between Dante and Randall, you got to watch Clerks 3, man. Like you just got to complete the circuit. I mean, what are you doing here, bro? Iron Wolf says, I might if it's on TV one day. Well, I mean, if you want to wait for it, it's fine. It's fine. Hey, what up, Sutter? Gillette, the best a man can get. Gillette. Sutter, Gillette comes into the chat. Blu-ray Addict says, Jay, who should play Pamela in the Crystal Lake TV show? I mean, somebody old? I don't know. I don't know if it would be too on the nose, but what if you got the chick from American Horror Story? What the fuck's her name? Shit, where's my phone? Let's look on that. Let's look online real quick. What's her name? American Horse. The older lady. My lord. Hold on a second. Hold 1 second. Hold 1 second, guys. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Or give me 2 minutes. I gotta look this shit up. Jessica Lange. Jessica Lange would be the girl. That's who I feel should do it. By the way, really quick, can you guys hear me? Lady Gaga, get out here, X-Shin. She'd have a poker face. You'd never tell what was going on. Okay, so Mike said his okay, cool beans, guys. I'm glad that you guys are hearing me and you guys are having a terrible time because it's just me right now. Mike said his computer took a dump and he'll be back in just a minute, so he's got to go through it. Okay, so yeah, I feel like Jessica Lange would be a really good Pamela Voorhees, but that's just my opinion, y'all. So my number 6 is going to be Mike's talked about it at length, so I don't want to really spoil and make you guys bored, but Chasing Amy is my number 6. I feel like Chasing Amy, when I first watched the movie, I didn't think it was, again, I had just come off of watching, because at that time, it was only Clerks and Mallrats. So when Chasing Amy came out, I remember renting it at my local video store called Video Selection and taking it home and like, what the shit is this? You know, it was dealing with a lot of adult material that I wasn't like, I was a kid, so I didn't know. And, but there were some funny moments in it. I mean, for sure. And I love comic books. And at that time, I was deep into collecting comic books. And I loved the idea that these guys were friends and they were making their own comic book. I thought it was cool. But I didn't really get the significance of the emotional thing that was going on until later on. And when I watched it again, it was a really smart movie. I feel like there was a lot of good stuff in that movie. And they took the best parts of someone like Silent Bob, who gave the Obi-Wan type of response at the end of Clerks 1, when he's like, there's a million chicks in the world, dude, but there's only a few that'll make you a lasagna, or whatever he says, like something like that. And they have that in that movie. It was like it was very philosophical and heartfelt, to be honest. And Ben Affleck really, he did a great job in that movie. The complaints I had about it was I didn't think that you needed to pull the whole we need to have a threesome thing. I feel the movie falls apart toward the end, because I don't really, I was just like, yeah, I don't know, like it's a great movie, but it definitely does feel like an Alanis Morissette music video. Like, I don't know, but it was still fun, man. It was different from Mallrats, and maybe to its detriment, but I feel like it's gotten legs after a few years. But anyhow, Richie says the finger test. Oh, fucking finger cuffs. Oh my God. By the way, the chemistry on set between that chick and Ben Affleck was incredible. Like, they were great together. He's got no fucking legs. Antonio, I don't know what the fuck is that? Frigimoli says, "Hey Jay, are you a gypsy?" I've never been gypsy in my life, but maybe I am. I don't know. Movie Juice, thank you so much, says Sigourney Weaver would make a great Pamela Voorhees in the series. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but she's very expensive, dog. Very expensive, okay? My shit's only got goddamn gift cards for Big Lots. I can't afford her. Sigourney Weaver would literally cost your firstborn children to play Pamela Voorhees. So no way, okay? We can't afford her. Stop it. Stop with your fantasies. But she would be great. She would be great. If they did a full feature-length, 100% reboot with Jason, absolutely, I would cast Sigourney Weaver. But I'm going to stick with my pick and pick Jessica Lange. But that's me. I can't hear you, Mike. You're silent as my sex partner when we're fucking. She's silent because it doesn't feel good. That's what it is. I know. Should I go to number 5? I guess, you know what? I'll wait because I've already gone to number 6. Gary, goddamn, Gary, you are a great motherfucker, and I love your no-go sign with the burglar from McDonald's as your situation. Said, watch Ian's reaction the other day. They made me mad because it's okay to dislike it, but they made a video of them guessing Corey's role at the beginning and then nitpick throughout the rest of the movie. So I get what you're saying. So you're saying that you watched the reaction and they didn't know shit about the movie.
Aha!
Welcome, son.
I thought you were joking with me. I thought you.
No, I really couldn't hear you. This is too deep. We're too deep in our list. We can't be joking around right now.
It wasn't until I heard somebody say that, like, they couldn't hear me, I believed you. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, as well, Gary. I mean, they nitpicked throughout the rest of the movie. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. They guessed the Corey role, and then they kind of went in with a closed heart, as it were, and they didn't let Jesus Christ come and enter in and save them. No, that's blasphemy. Jesus, forgive me. We should not be saying those words. But no, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, people were like that. There were a lot of people that saw the trailer and like, I'm not going to like it. And they went in immediately hating it. And they looked for things they didn't like. And that sucks. I mean, that happens though. It does happen. I mean, it happens all the time, but I didn't like I gave it a 6.5. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great. And there was a lot of problems with it, but I will say, for my benefit, I went in with an open mind because I had no fucking idea what I was walking into. And I walked out with fresh. I was fresh to fucking death with my reaction because I hadn't known any of that shit going in. So it sucks when people do that though.
Yeah, I'm on both sides. Like I've said it many times. Like, I like the movie. I like it was weird. I think it was strange, and I dug it. But like, I totally understand why people don't like it. But there is some people out there, and not everybody. Like, some people just didn't like it, and that's fine. But there are certain people, and you can tell by their general attitude. And
they're probably Biden supporters.
or that piece of shit Trump. But no, like, yeah, whatever it is, like, you'd see certain people are just they hate everything, and they're gonna go in hating this, and they just want to see Michael chase Lori around the house and anything different. They were gonna shit on it no matter what it was because of predetermined shit. So
yeah,
that always gets my nerves.
okay.
Hey,
So so my number 7 was Clerks 3.
Okay.
And my number 6 was Chasing Amy.
Okay. So your Chasing Amy was higher than mine. Mine was at number 8, but we're still pretty cool. We're not that far off on each other's. My 7, and I'll be brief. Sorry about that, guys. Fucking sometimes when the battery dies, the camera just takes a dump, and I have to restart.
Mike needs to pay his bills. Get off that government cheese.
Piece of shit. Yeah, I love government cheese.
It's so
My
good.
favorite.
It tastes like Panera bread.
It's shockingly better than you would ever expect it to be. I have to actually pull up my list again too. That was a fucking shit show. My number. Where the fuck is the Kevin Smith ranking? You piece of shit. Oh, here it is. Sorry, Letterboxd D. Excuse me for being so angry. My number 7 is going to be low for most people. It is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa! Calm it down here.
I know. It's pretty simple.
You?
Like, dude, the parts that are funny are fucking take off your pants and jacket. That's just funny as shit. And I love them. Like, you know, I love Jay and Silent Bob. I like that they got their whole movie. I like how big. I love Will Ferrell being in there. All that shit. The end to me though, when they got there, when they were on the set and they were doing the whole Mark Hamill thing, it just got really corny to me.
Cockknocker. Put respect on it.
Yeah, that whole thing, I was like, it's not even, that part wasn't very funny to me. It went too far at certain times, but at other times it was fucking hilarious. But it almost just feels like the most dimension goddamn Kevin Smith movie that you've ever seen. Like they had the big budget for it.
Yeah.
They tried this whole thing with the girl from American Pie and the whole side Charlie's Angels story. Like what you were saying earlier, I wanted to see a scaled down Jay and Silent Bob movie. And the Hollywoodism of it was fun at times, but at other times it was almost taken away from how good the movie could have been. Had they scaled it back and went more towards the Clerks type comedy. But I still love this fucking movie. As I said, starting with Zach and Miri Make a Porno, I adore all these fucking movies. So I still love the shit out of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Stroke 9, the soundtrack. How many people want to kick some ass? That whole thing. Ben Affleck, maybe my favorite Ben Affleck role in the VSQ universe, where he's like, Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. You know, that whole thing. And his whole,
These
by the way,
morose motherfuckers right here. Bong.
I've always wanted Ben Affleck's house in that. We had the basketball goal, like the thing. I loved how it all tied in. There's some amazing shit in that movie. But yeah. And then number 6 for me.
Well, you're wrong, but okay.
For me, it's gonna be Tusk. I fucking thought Tusk ruled the shit.
I know you loved it a lot because you kept on asking me to watch it.
I did. I love Tusk. I thought Tusk, number one, and the reason I wanted you to watch it so bad is because I love Justin Long's character in that so much, with the whole Nazi podcast and all that shit.
Yeah.
The way that they interacted with each other, how funny he was that whole time when he went to there. He was an asshole character, but Justin Long always plays an asshole character in horror movies. But I thought he was fucking hilarious, even though he was a dick. And then it went from being really funny Kevin Smith comedy to immediately right up there with like the crazy shit of like Misery, when Michael Park's like, you got bit by a spider and he started like laughing and shit. And like he's like, and Justin Long screaming and Michael Park's is trying not to laugh. He's like, we don't have a phone. You know, that shit made me laugh, but it also scared me. And yeah, it goes to Crazy Town. And I actually think when Johnny Depp showed up, he kind of shit on the movie because they had a really kind of scary, fucked up horror movie going.
Where's the rum gone?
Like Guy Lapointe was funny at times, but at the same time it just completely derailed the fucking movie. But I thought it was a solid, really fucked up dark horror movie that also had good comedy in it. And I think Kevin Smith should really do more horror, man. Between this and Red State, I think he has a nice horror mind to him. I fucking love Tusk though. I thought it was weird, strange, out there, different. And yeah, it ends weird as fuck. And I wouldn't necessarily say I would go there. But I thought it was ballsy. I thought it was ballsy. I thought it was mean. And I think some of the best horror movies end on that mean fucking note, you know? And dude, how cool was it? I love his ringtone, that ooh, ooh, ooh,
yeah,
more margaritas.
Dude, I think Justin Long was good. I feel like, but there's something about Justin Long though, when you're like, the only time, like, he's funny, like he's obviously a funny dude and he can come up with, I don't know how much he improvises or whatever, but like, I feel like one of his funniest roles ever was either Accepted or Waiting. But there's certain directors that can't really match what he can do. and if it's written poorly, I mean, it gets annoying. Like, I feel like he was annoying. Like, he was funny in certain parts, and then he got fucking annoying. Like, he was funny as fuck in Zack and Miri Make a Porno, because he was in there in small doses, and he got to be like, and by the way, a lot of that was Linorama. If you go back and watch, like, they only picked the best parts, because he just got to play out who was funnier, Seth Rogen or Justin Long, and Justin Long killed it. But yeah, it is what it is. I just feel like I was like, I've seen a movie like this before. It was called People with Their Mouth Stitched Up to People's Assholes, called The Human Centipede. And it was disturbing as fuck, with Dieter Laser, who's one of the best bad guys ever, by the way. Dieter Laser.
I mean, I see that. I see the comparison, but I don't all the way see the comparison, because I just think they're two completely different movies. Like, this was part comedy, part fucked up movie, and Human Centipede was meant to be a completely fucked up, strange little movie. You know what I mean? Like, it was its own thing.
I don't know. Well, the guy that directed it, though, what's his name? Nikki Six?
Something Six. Tom Six. Tom Six.
Nikki Six is a fucking band member. But Tom Six, yeah. I mean, he thought it was like a fucking out there psychological movie, and then he got pissed off and he made The Human Centipede 2, which was even on purpose nasty. Which, by the way, he actually didn't do a bad job. If you guys haven't seen The Human Centipede 2, it's not actually, I mean, it's gross, but it's not bad. But anyway, my number 5 is going to be, it's going to be Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I feel like this was in line with what I expected from Kevin Smith. This is what I wanted from Kevin Smith ever since I saw Clerks, and then especially Mallrats. This was the tone that I wanted to see. This kind of gross out, kind of crazy American Pie, fucked up comedy, and they have all of that in spades. Is it a perfect movie? By no means, or the stretch of the imagination. But I didn't expect a fucking amazing plot line. It's literally called Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Where did they go? Was there a New Hope? Nope. They were just out on vacation. I think it was funny. Like, it was purposefully funny, but there were problems with it. I mean, yeah, it does feel like sketch after sketch kind of tied together, and the flow isn't always perfect. But dude, I thought it was great, man. I remember watching this movie and laughing my ass off, because I got to see Jay and Silent Bob for the first time since fucking Mallrats, be Jay and Silent Bob. Because this was the first time you'd seen them to be like all of this, and I loved it. I love that they focused on those characters. I like their relationship. The Chris Rock takes that book of flavor. I love all of the shit. I think it was perfectly done. Honestly, I thought this was going to be the siren song for Kevin Smith with the Jay and Silent Bob movies. Because I was like, man, you went out on a bang. This is a great fucking movie. I liked it a lot. I think it was a top 5 movie, just because I really did think this was the last time you were going to see those characters, and he was just throwing everything at the board and saying, let's see what sticks, and just having a good time with it. And you definitely could tell that he's having, and he got to live out his fucking fantasy, dude. Kevin Smith's a big fucking Star Wars nerd, and he gets to bring Mark Hamill in, who agreed to be Cockknocker. I just think, dude, honestly, it just felt like if Beavis and Butthead were Jay and Silent Bob, this would be their movie. It would be like Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about that whole movie was when they were in the movies and they were looking up like moviepoopshow.com, and he was like, who the fuck said that? He's like, we're going to fly to every one of these fucking houses. That whole thing was great.
No, he said, what the fuck is the internet? He said, awesome. What the fuck is the internet?
I still think movie poop shoot. I think it was a real thing for a while, but I think it should come back.
Yeah.
My number 5 is going to be Clerks 2.
Clerks
2. Look, it's one of those movies, dude. Like, I feel different about it every time I watch it. It's completely different from the original Clerks. Like, completely fucking different. Like, it is. The only thing that got annoying to me was what he did with the relationship with Dante and the women, like his girlfriend. Like, he gave her this major role when she would come over and like make out with him, and he played that like. And they're like making out, and they're trying to make her all hot and him like be hot and sexy. Like, for one, it makes no sense that all these women want Dante. It never has, but they went too far into that.
Well, he had a philosophical goatee. It's sexy.
Yeah, I guess. Rosario Dawson was in that, and she was good in it or whatever. But I think the best parts of Clerks 2 was the addition of Randall. He was fucking great in that movie. With
Elias.
Ring. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Elias, one ring to rule them all was probably the best joke in the fucking movie. Yeah. And then when Randall, this movie was, Like, I don't think people look at it this way, but I think it was the dirtiest movie of Kevin Smith's whole universe, dude.
It was all,
Because not
yeah, it was. I can see that.
yeah, not only did you have Randall saying the whole porch monkey thing they did, I'm going to take it back, which was funny the way they did that. You could never make that happen today because he generally wasn't trying to be racist. He was just confused at why everybody was so offended by it.
Yeah.
And then obviously that they had a dude come in and fuck a donkey, which at the time I was kind of like, this is too fucking much, guys.
Yeah, that was the hottest scene ever. That was the hottest scene. Remember when I was like, I don't know why I'm coming.
He gets drunk and just starts jerking off.
Dude, I mean, that movie was like, that movie was fucking like, yeah, that movie was racy, dude. Because like, I'm not gonna say it on stream or on air at all, but when Randall says, yeah, my grandma used to call a broken beer bottle a knife, and I'm like, god damn.
It was ballsy. It was, and you don't see that these days. And also the pillow pants was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, or it was like, so
no, it was
you've heard,
yeah.
As you've heard, the new Transformers movie is coming out, and that puts me basically with my handle in the prime positioning for like the Dante or fucking Dante.
Yeah, Elias.
Yeah, Elias was fucking great, man. He was an awesome addition.
So good.
He set that movie off. I thought Dante and his shit with the girls was kind of annoying. And
yeah, it was all right.
The way they did that, but Randall was a lot in that movie. But dude, the Lord of the Rings conversation and Jason Lee being in it was great. But the Lord of the Rings conversation where he was like doing the walking thing and he made the fucking Lord of the Rings guy puke on the floor. Fucking amazing scene. That movie's hilarious. But the whole thing is I got kind of annoyed at how gross. Like it felt like pull it back a little bit. Like stop just trying to be grody. But then when they pull it back and they're in the jail cell together and they have the heated argument together, dude, like I get teared up at that scene.
Really good.
It's so intense and it's so well written and it brings it all right back in that even when I watch that movie, I get kind of annoyed with how far they try to go. When they're in the jail and they have that fight together, it always tears me up. It always brings me right back to what Clerks was all about. And that was an amazing fucking scene. So I love this movie.
Well, I might as well let the monkey out of the back here. My number 4 is me, Clerks 2.
Hey,
what up, girl? I knew that you were a whore like me. No, I like Clerks 2 a lot. I feel like Clerks 2 was the closest. It captured the spirit of what Clerks 1 was in a way. It did transform it, but like the best part of that movie is literally the introduction of Elias. Elias makes that movie go from 0 to 100. Like, dude, the first time he's dropped off and he gives his mom a kiss on the mouth, and then Randall's like, "Oh my god, you kiss your mom on the mouth," and they have this like banter back and forth in the restaurant. It's so fucking dead. It's so goddamn perfect. Again, Kevin Smith has this ability to capture these moments that only happen in real life, but put it on film. Like, I mean, that would happen probably at a real fast food restaurant if someone was a little older and the guy that came in that kissed his mom in the mouth and he was like, "God damn, you kiss your mom in the mouth," and you would have like these locker room discussions. And like, I like how I think the best part of the movie, and again, yes, Dante being a sex idol makes zero sense, but it is what it is. I mean, some girls are into it, I guess, but the best part is the chemistry and the relationship between Elias and Randall. And that's what I fucking love to see. I think that every time they're in a scene together and every time they talk, especially the pillow pants conversation, and Kevin Smith is so smart that he puts the Shining fucking music over in the background. Like, I didn't notice that the first time I watched it. And then somebody was like, "Hey man, did you notice that they put the Shining back, the music?" I'm like, "Oh my God." And it makes perfect. He's like, "Well, yeah, I would, but pillow pants is in the way." It's like, what the fuck is pillow pants? It's like, pillow pants lives inside her panties. Like,
Randall's like, "What the fuck?"
It was so good. And then he's like, "Mr. Dante," and then but I did like that part where Dante opens the door. He's like, "Randall, leave him alone." And then like there's a kid and and her dad eating dinner, and he's like, don't look at his pee-pee. He's like, "Oh." Shut the door. Dude, I think there's so many. And then the dance sequence that happens, the ABC, it's easy as one. I liked it, dude. I thought it was fucking funny, dude. And then obviously Jay and Silent Bob appearing in it, and they were like reformed, another Christian, but they're still selling drugs. Dude, I feel like this movie was brilliant, dude. I really feel like this was a great follow-up to Clerks, and I hope that this happens again. I don't know if he's going to do it, but in Kevin Smith with Mallrats 2, I hope the same thing happens in Mallrats 2. because like I feel like we've learned our lesson with Clerks. Was it no, the Jay and Silent Bob reboot? When you introduce older characters, sometimes it's just not going to work if you're going to play those jokes out. I feel like Clerks 2 introduced new characters like Elias. And dude, Elias was great, man. I love fucking Elias in this movie. I thought he was hilariously well done, and I think he has some of the best lines in the movie. And he had the best moments, like when he was jacking off again with Kelly, and he was like, "I don't know what, dude," because he's all Christian, dude. It was fun. I love Clerks 2.
Yeah, I do too. It's one of his best, man. I think it's underrated as fuck too, for sure. All right, number 4, we're getting way up there now. Now we're getting to the goddamn best of the fucking best. And I gotta tell you, man, this movie, the next one I'm gonna say was way lower on my list until the second time I watched it, because the first time you watch it, there's a lot that happens in Clerks 3, and it is shocking and it is debilitating emotionally if you care about these characters. But Clerks 3 climbed all the way up to tops Clerks 2 for me. After watching
God damn, dude. I knew you were a pussy, but I didn't know you douche too.
Yeah. Well, I like to be fucked in my pussy.
No, dude. No, it's a great fucking movie though.
Dude, it got me, and like, and it took the scene in the jail cell in Clerks 2 and made a whole movie about it. And while Clerks 2 is Clerks 2 is funnier. It is funnier, but upon the second watch of Clerks 3, dude, it is so genuinely fucking sweet. At first I was pissed at what they did. It took me by surprise, and I was actually angry. I'm like, you can't do that. This is too much. But you go back and watch it the second time, and I was like, it's not nearly as funny as Clerks 2. It's not as funny as Clerks, but the way they made us care about these two at the end of the scene of Clerks 2, when they're in that jail cell and they expand on it and what they do, it's so fucking heartbreaking, man. And it's so just fucking the friendship that these two have. And like that, he fucking went for it. And there's parts about that are broken for sure. There's parts that don't work. Some of the comedy, he does the same thing in this a little bit at times that he does with the reboot of Jay and Silent Bob, where he goes back and does the same jokes and they don't work. But when he does it in a meta way where they're remaking the movie, it's actually, even when the jokes don't land, it manages to be touching and nostalgic in all the right ways. And just, he took that relationship to a level I didn't think it could go. And like, I bawled my eyes out. There's probably 3 or 4 scenes in this movie where I actually bawl my eyes out now when I watch it. And I don't know. It's like the Southpaw of fucking the Kevin Smith universe.
Yeah.
I fucking adore this movie, man. I really love it.
Well, I mentioned it, because I love that movie too. And I have it number 7 on my list, which doesn't denote how good of a movie it is. I mean, like we're already saying that these are movies that we love, but we have to rank them. But that scene in the movie theater with Rosario Dawson really fucking hit me. Like that one got me really fucking hard, because I didn't like the fact that they had used the same type of affliction on a character again. I was like, all right, well, we've already done this, so it's not I feel like you guys are just retreading. But when they did that theater scene, and then Dante says, "No, he's my best friend. I trust him."
Yeah,
because she's like, "Don't you want to see how the movie ends?" I'm like, "Fuck, dude! God damn you, fucking Kevin Smith, fat fucking weed smoker."
I know.
Got me. It got me. That got me. Like, I mean, I teared up, but that part got me, because I was like, God damn, man, that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Finding a friend in your life that you can trust that intimately with your life. That was what it was.
And the fact that you know what it's based on, right? Like this is a human thing that happened to him, and I know he talks about it all the time, but the movie just says it so much better. The fact that he was on stage, he has a little girl, he has a wife, and he had a heart attack, and they basically the same thing happened, and they told him, you're gonna die, like your life's over. And I remember there's something that sticks with me when Kevin Smith talks about it, when he was like, I was laying there on that table and I've always feared death so much, like I do. And he was like, it was the most shocking feeling. He was like,
it's on the Joe Rogan interview.
I don't know, I'm not sure what
I think that's
I just know that he was like, I'm just thankful. Like I look back at my life and I'm like, holy shit, I lived. Like I'm good to go. And that whole thing tied into like Randall's perspective and Dante's perspective. It just,
Mhm.
dude, the way he took these two characters in these two movies and like wrapped up in this beautiful way. I get it's not what a lot of people want from a Kevin Smith movie, and I felt that way the first time I watched it. I was like, oh, dude, that was you did too much. But like the second time I watch it, knowing what to expect and really being able to enjoy how their relationship unfolded and how their lives unfolded, like it hit me way deeper the second fucking time. So just it's a personal choice, but
It's a
it may
great
not
movie.
be as good as Clerks 2, but I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So my number 3 is going to be Dogma. I loved it, man. I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, you got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as Loki and Bartleby, and you got the great Alan Rickman coming in and saying, "Guess what, motherfuckers? I'm here." I mean, what movie? And then obviously, Jay and Silent Bob have their comeuppance in the movie as well. It's a great dude. I really loved it a lot. I think it was really funny, and it dealt with a lot of material that was kind of taboo to touch back then, and they did a great job. Matt Damon and Bartleby, Ben Affleck, playing those respective characters. I feel like the interactions between them was incredibly good. My favorite scene in that movie, I mean, we're all going to say the shit monster. I know what you sick fucks are thinking, but other than the shit monster and the sexy Selma Hayek coming out and being a stripper, my God, can we stop? Okay, because my dick's been hard for 3 months now. But no, the one of the best scenes of Dogma, to me anyway, and it really did showcase for Kevin Smith's affinity to do serious dialogue in a way that, like, you're like, damn, that's pretty hardcore. Is when Loki and Bartleby have an argument in the parking garage, and he's like, "You sound like fucking Morning Star, man. You sound like fucking Lucifer." And he's like, "You shut your fucking mouth." And then they have this kind of like thing. I was like, God damn, that's so good. And it actually goes back to Kevin Smith being raised in the church. So I love the fact that he said, "You sound like the Morning Star," which the Morning Star is only mentioned in the Bible. So what you got, if some of you guys aren't familiar, the Morning Star is known as Lucifer. The devil was known as the Morning Star because he was the most beautiful of all God's angels, and because of ego and pride, he attempted to do. And Loki says it best. He's like, "You're talking about fucking war on God." That's what the Morning Star did. That's what Lucifer did. He declared war on God, war on the throne because of pride. And that's what Bartleby, because he'd been driven insane. There's a lot of subtleties in this movie. And it's funny. Of course, there's funny, like No Ticket. Like, there's a lot of funny shit, Indiana Jones shit callbacks with Kevin Smith and Silent Bob. But dude, this movie is fucking. There's little tiny things in this movie that are just so good, and I mean, subtly introduced. That the Last Scion, by the way, the girl that plays her, I don't like her. I never did. I don't think she's a great actress. I think she's kind of boring. I never really got behind her character. And then the crying thing, I didn't like it. But this movie had so much other good things going on, and the subtleties and the little tiny touches in this movie. To me, this could have been a horror movie. This movie could have been a true horror movie if they wanted to turn it that way. Because Bartleby and Loki are fucking renegade angels that are fucking popping people's heads left and right, and they don't give a fuck just to use this loophole in the Catholic Church to get back into heaven. And that's all that matters to them. They could have made, and they do kind of, but they go the they go the comedy route, like Jay and Silent Bob, when they show up and like, yeah, I know they were just 12 years old, but we kicked the fucking shit out of them when they kick the shit out of those 12-year-old fucking rollerbladers that are demons. Dude, I love this movie. This movie's fucking incredibly good. And if it hadn't been for the other two movies that are gonna come before that, this would be my number one. But it's incredible.
Yeah, dude. It's my number 3 as well, by the way.
Ciao.
It is.
Do you like to suck dick?
Cock berserker. You want to make fuck berserker? Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. It's kind of Kevin Smith's perfect Quentin Tarantino film. Like, it is his. It won't be looked at that way, but like, it is his fucking Criterion Collection film.
Yeah.
Like he did it, and it had all the same shit we love. It had the one of my favorite underrated jokes is when Chris Rock wakes up, he's like, "Poop a trip." Like, out of nowhere. little shit like
He's
that.
like, kill it. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, and the whole thing with the shit monster and stuff like that. There's that dumb shit in there too. But Jason Lee, like it had all the great aspects of what Kevin Smith does. But dude, what he did, he took Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and had them carry these two heavy roles with heavy fucking Quentin Tarantino type mixed with Kevin Smith type dialogue, mixed with this thick, rich history of like Catholicism and like the Bible and shit like that. And tied it into consumerism. The movie's underrated for how fucking smart it is. Like, it really is. My favorite part is when they shoot everybody in that office, and he's like, and Matt Damon's like, "You're a good soul, but you didn't say God bless you when I sneezed." And he starts to shoot her. Like,
he's like, low key. He's like, no, don't do it.
It's so offensive that it never had the chance to really be beloved as a cult film the way it should have been. And Weinstein's are holding it fucking hostage because there's no, like, the DVD's out of print, there's no Blu-ray or whatever.
I didn't know that
fucking situation with that. Yeah, it's like hard as shit to find, which is bullshit.
Thank God I got this DVD.
This movie should be way more celebrated than it is. Crazy ideas, amazing dialogue, amazing acting. Alanis fucking Morissette as Jesus. Come the fuck on.
God, not Jesus, but God.
But it's offensive. It's funny. It's got all the Kevin Smith stuff, and it's his smartest fucking, most ballsy movie. And it's also just got all the great funny shit you love about it. Dogma is underrated as a motherfucker, dude.
It really is. I mean, it really is. It's so outside from what you would expect from Kevin Smith, because I think, didn't Dogma come out? It was before Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I think it was his fourth movie.
I think so. Yeah.
So you're coming off Chasing Amy. You're coming off Chasing Amy, and you're thinking, okay, we're going to do more of these like theatrical drama comedies, and he comes out with shit like this, and you're like, holy fuck, that's great, that's amazing. I also like that scene when Matt Damon gets off the bus and he's like, my Ann, how y'all feeling? My Ann. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's fucking great, dude. There's so many and the fucking great George Carlin is the preacher in this, or the priest. It's so good, man. Like, again, there's so many subtleties in this movie. Would you agree that this represents the best of what Kevin Smith could have been? Like, had he not given in to the wills of Hollywood, or maybe went too far with the pot shit and all that? Like, this was a taste of what Kevin Smith could have fucking done. Well, and I do feel like it was his own experiences growing up I think he was raised Catholic, so it was his own kind of kickback on religion. Which, by the way, I'm Christian, so I'm just gonna say I don't like. There was nothing in this that was like offensive to me. It was an interpretation of the Bible, and he actually hit the nail on the head on a lot of it. The fact that Bartleby, which was an angel of peace essentially, and Loki, who was one of God's angels of destruction, was the one that was the angel of destruction. Was like, man, calm the fuck down. And Bartleby was the crazy one. Like, he'd been fucking pissed. And then when Loki recognized it, he called him Lucifer, and he's like, "You're declaring war on fucking God, dude." I think that is one of the best scenes ever. Not even just the fact that it was in the Kevin Smith universe. I'm talking about one of the best scenes ever. When he you're talking about war on fucking God. I thought that was amazing. Well, amazingly well done.
It's crazy how you watch it, like, too. Like, I think maybe the first time I watched this, like, maybe I believed in kind of the same thing that you like, the Christian idea or whatever. So it's like you watch it, like, okay, that's definitely blasphemic or whatever. It's definitely funner to watch when you're not like I'm not obviously.
Well, I don't think
like I enjoy it now more than I did then. That's not to say you can't enjoy it if you're Christian. Like, obviously you enjoy it, or if you're Catholic, you can still enjoy it. And
I don't think it's blasphemic. I just think I think it's accurate. I mean, I think that there could be a rogue angel or two. I mean, who the fuck knows? I mean, nobody knows the will of God or what. We're all fucking stupid apes walking around, evolved from apes. How the fuck do we know? Who the fuck do I mean, anyway? But I mean, I don't think it matters who you could believe in, goddamn, a Muslim faith or whatever.
Let's not slip into that pile of dog shit.
Well, I mean, we all believe in a higher God, though. Native Americans believed in, they call him the Great Spirit, whatever. But guess what? You go to your number 2. I gotta go pee.
Okay, all right. You extra piss taking motherfucker. I hate your guts.
I got that extra piss perk.
Pee yourself to death. My number 2 is gonna be. Dude, where's my fucking clicker clacker going? You can tell how old I am because I call my mouse a clicker. This is tough. This is tough. It's really tight. It's tight like a toiga right now. My number 2 is going to be, oh God, it hurts to even write it. It's just going to be Clerks. It's going to be Clerks. Which by putting your number 2, you might as well put your number 1. I'll just do it that way. Clerks and Mallrats. Look, Clerks and Mallrats, like I know Clerks is the classic. It's the quintuocho. It's the original. It changed cinema. It really did, by the way. You're talking about a guy who didn't have a chance of prayer in hell. Maxed out all of his credit cards. Just doing his indie thing. Punk as fuck the way he did Clerks. And puts that movie out there. And thinks he's fucked. And then Sundance picks it up. And just by the grace of the gods, turns out to be this huge thing. I fucking love Clerks. I watched Clerks with Jay for the first time. He showed it to me. And as soon as it turned on, I had the same reaction probably most people have when they turn on. Is this whole thing going to be in fucking black and white? And then just took me on a ride. Like, it's so smart. It's so Quentin Tarantino dialogue-ish, but like without the air of goddamn, like, I'm smarter than you. Like, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie without the snobbiness, I guess. And I love Quentin Tarantino, don't get me wrong, but it was like a 19-year-old who doesn't know what to do with his life. Quentin Tarantino movie. It's the movie Quentin Tarantino would have written while he was working at that video store, watching all those movies. I fucking love Clerks for how dangerous and weird and strange it is, and all the weird stuff they did. And sometimes watching it at gross fans, like, oh, why would you do that there? Why would you make that character this way? Why would you make that character an asshole? And then you grow up and you realize that's the fucking point. Is that, like, the funniest part about it is that these people are not fucking normal. They're not trying to please. They're just strange, weird dudes who are surviving lives, and we have made them superheroes. And that's the way that Clerks 3 does. They make them kind of superheroes in their own right. And Juan says Clerks should be number 1. I wouldn't disagree with you. Like, by all means, as far as what these movies mean to cinema, Clerks is number 1. But this is my fucking list, Juan. And it's my favorite. And I just got to go with my gut here. When it comes to me as a person, as much as I love and appreciate Clerks, and it is a more important movie, for sure. No doubt. Probably a better movie. But just for me, what I enjoy the most is Mallrats. I enjoy Mallrats more because Mallrats was, and it bombed. It took a big hard shit. And I think I saw a super chat here that I was going to bring up that asked this question. Laya says, have y'all seen the Arrow Blu-ray of Mallrats? It's great. There's a lot of special features. Yes, I watched the entire thing. I watched the extra, and oh my God, it's one of those few situations where I'm glad the studio jumped in, because Kevin Smith's version with that different opening was awful. But like, Mallrats was so fucking funny, dude. And it brings in the character of Brody, who I think all of us who grew up in that time really resonated with. He lived in his mom's basement. He read comics. This is back when comics weren't cool. Nobody read comics. You got your ass kicked for reading comics, just like he did the guy from Fashionable Mail. The whole thing that they created with Mallrats was just so fucking fun. And it was such a different thing that you never seen before. And it was a sort of punk rock, but also super fucking nerdy. It was just as dirty as the other movies, but it just felt, Mallrats was more accessible to me. Even than Clerks was. It was just more accessible. Like, we felt like that was us. That was the fucking broken, disbanded, forgotten, abandoned suburban youth. You know what I mean? Like, it captured that in a weird way. So Mallrats, I also think Mallrats was just fucking funnier. You know, from the sailboat thing to the Ben Affleck character to that whole entire thing. It was goofier, but I actually think Mallrats was there's more laughs to be had in Mallrats than there even was in Clerks, as much as I love Clerks. Clerks a better movie, a more important movie. Yeah. But Mallrats was funny as fucking shit, man. That movie was the tits, and it had nutsack. So it was just more fun, you know?
Just want to think of your nutsack.
Nutsack. I did 2, so I just did 1 as well, because it's like a flip and flop. I took Mallrats over Clerks because I'm a dirty, disgusting, 3-nippled bastard.
You're a whore that doesn't like black and white movies. I get it. You're racist. That's okay.
So your number 2 is Mallrats then, huh?
Yes, it is. And my number 1 is Clerks. And, you know, there's a reason for this. I'm the same way. I could interchange Mallrats and Clerks any day of the week. I mean, it would change depending on how I felt, because they're both equally amazing and they're both equally good.
Hartford the Whale?
Yeah. It's a schooner. A schooner is a sailboat, you dumb bastard. Or no, what do you say? He's like, it's a sailboat, you dumb bastard. He's like, a schooner is a sailboat, stupid head. It's like, you know what? There is no Easter Bunny. That guy over there is just a guy in a suit. But no, man, you know what it is for me? It's Clerks was the first movie that I rented that introduced me to the Kevin Smith comedy routine, I guess, in a way. I remember watching it. It was black and white. I'm like, I hate this. I remember popping into the VCR. I don't even remember why I rented it. I think I read the back of it and it kind of sounded interesting. So I rented it. And I had no expectations, and I watched it. I'm like, God damn, this is fucking good. And I was like probably 12 or 13. I don't know. I was up there. I was young. And then I told Cody and Mike about it, my brother Cody, and I told Mike about it. And I was like, this is fucking hilarious fucking movie you got to check out. It's black and white, so don't get your panties in a twist, but check it out. But dude, this movie captured the 90s in a time bottle, in a time capsule forever. You're talking about two sardonic assholes that work at a convenience store with smart aleck tendencies that are just like jiving on life. And they're like, you know, I don't know, man, it felt like life captured on film. You know, I know they were acting and they're actors, but they did such a good job of doing this role. I almost felt like they weren't even filming it. Like this was like just how people were in the 90s. Like not only just the way they dressed, but the way they interacted, and the chemistry was off the chart between Randall and Dante. It was amazing. But their interactions with the customers, because it was like, I don't want to be this was Good Charlotte before Good Charlotte. It was cool, man. Like, I don't know. There was something about Clerks that just really, I
don't know. Any dick on the way to the park.
37 dicks in a row. But you know, there was something about this movie that really just struck with me. You know, and I was a kid, but even as a kid, 11 and 12-year-old, you got that feeling. You know, I guess you could only know it when you grew up in the 90s, like the way things were. And those two guys, Randall and Dante, captured it in a way that was like amazing. It was fucking on the point. And again, it was Kevin Smith's script, obviously. But it was perfect. And then when you have Mallrats come out, and again, Mallrats and Clerks could be interchangeable. I mean, any day of the week it could change. But Mallrats was all about focusing on, you know, where do kids go in the 90s? They go to the mall and hang out, and they don't have any money. They have like refillable cups of little water because they don't have any money. And like, you know, I love that movie, dude, because, you know, Jason Lee wakes up Brody and plays Sega immediately. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's fucking Sega, dude. It's NHL. And he's just like, oh my God. He's like, and then he collects comic books. And I love that because I was a comic book collector back then. I was a huge comic book collector. So it spoke to me on that level. And like when his friend shows up, the very good looking, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Looks like he's from Blossom. I don't remember his name either.
Fucking great looking guy. His friend shows up and he was like, I tried to teach you how to handle comic books in the 6th grade, but oh no, you wanted to date girls, so don't touch anything. I was like, dude, I fucking feel you on levels that I can't even describe because I had comic books back then. I had a shit ton of them, and I was still collecting that day. And it was like, it just spoke to me on levels I can't even imagine. Like, even at the end of the movie, and he's like, hey, goes, hey, by the way, take your socks off when you make whoopee because he hates that shit. And she's like, how's the comic book store coming, Brody? He's like, it's pretty good. I mean, and then his friend hits him on the leg. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Comic books are for kids, lady. Yeah, man.
That kid is back on the escalator.
It's so good, man. I don't know, but I like Clerks better just because Clerks.
Jeremy London. That's the guy's name.
Huh?
Colin said Jeremy London. That's the guy's name.
Jeremy London. He was awesome in War. He was really good.
Michael Rooker's great in that too.
Michael Rooker's awesome.
Chocolate covered pretzel?
My favorite part of that, one of my favorite parts of that movie is when Michael Rooker is looking at himself in the mirror and he like has a towel on. And he goes, ah! And his towel comes off and he's like looking at himself butt naked. It's fucking great. It's so fucking good, dude. But yeah, Mallrats and Clerks could be changed out every other week because they're both so equally good. But there's something about Clerks that is so there's an enduring quality of charm to that movie that will never stop. It will never stop. I literally
great soundtrack too, by the way.
A great soundtrack. I just watched it like 3 weeks ago. I didn't even know we were going to be doing this video, and I just watched it randomly, and it's so good. Like if you ever want to go back and time travel back to the 90s, that's the movie you want to watch.
Both those movies, actually. Really,
well, Mallrats,
you know what I mean?
but there's something about but there's something about Clerks though that is so subtle and it's underspoken. It just feels like when I was growing up in the 90s, my uncles were like 16, 17 years old, and they were and I was around them, and like I would imagine this was their day. They would be like wearing like military boots and going to work and just being like, fuck it, I don't know what to, I don't know, man. There was something about, I can't put my finger on it, but Clerks was goddamn timeless, dude. Clerks is forever, for me, the best Kevin Smith movie ever. But again, Mallrats is so high up there, and it also has the great Stan Lee, and Jason Lee is introduced, which you could say he's a better actor than Randall and Dante, but goddamn, man, Randall and Dante's relationship felt real. That felt real.
I'll say this: I don't feel like it's stressful when you do these because like these are our movies, like this is our youth, So I don't feel like we do them justice. But I will say, and I commented this on the thing a little bit ago, I feel like we're not covering each movie and giving it its due. But we have watched all these movies on Patreon in the commentaries. So just for the Patreon, but there's so many. Each of these movies just it warrants like 3 hours of conversation.
No, yeah, it'd be like a 6-hour stream if we're going to talk about in depth every single part of it.
Fucking awesome joke, yeah, and everything in there. So if you haven't, and it's like it's the lower tier, it's the $5 tier, you get the commentaries. But if you're into these movies, or if you haven't seen them, or if you want to watch them again and experience them with us, we had a blast going through and watching these together and doing those on the Patreon. So I do recommend that. But yeah, dude, this is like I will never be satisfied talking about these movies because we will never get out just how fucking much they mean to us and how great they are.
Well, I mean, especially the first two.
Yeah.
The first two.
100%.
I mean, I swear to God, dude, it really is hard to pick between Clerks and Mallrats. What's the better Kevin Smith movie? Because they're both so incredibly well done. And they both encapsulate that 90s feel so perfectly. And I can't wait to see Mallrats 2. I hope it's amazing and I hope it's well done, but we'll see. Because I mean, you can fuck up. And you can do bad things. I hope that Mallrats 2. I hope it's just like a fucking straight comedy. Like let's not get like let's not get all deep and emotional. Let's just have a good fucking run,
dude. Yeah. Don't do Clerks 3 again.
We've already done it. We've done it twice.
I appreciate it, but Mallrats was always a little bit more Skid Row. You know what I mean? Like let's keep it that way.
It's like you can touch it if you want. Can I? The third nipple, but no. Here's the thing, man.
Was always a little bit more dialogue fueled,
Well,
so that's fine. But like
Mallrats 2 should just be. That's all you should do, man. Just take Mallrats 2 and make it a fucking comedy. You've already got that under your belt, man. You did Clerks 3 and you did Jay and Silent Bob the reboot. You don't need it. Take Mallrats 2 and just make that your fucking goddamn opus of comedy. Just do it. Just get in there and fucking do it.
100%, dude. Hey. That's our fucking list, folks. I don't feel like we did it justice because we love these movies so goddamn much. We could talk about them forever, which is why I put the Patreon link for the commentaries. But like, I hope you guys had fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Yeah. No horror stuff, no Halloween stuff. Still had a healthy audience. All you guys hanging out with us, just talking shit. It fills my heart with joy and snoochie fucking boochies, man. I am the Clit Commander.
Oh my God, the Clit doesn't exist. Nobody knows where it is. But no, I'll tell you what though. By the way, so some of you hardcore sycophants, the horror will continue. We're gonna have another list of eventually or some other horror related thing going on. But this was fun just because we get to break from the norm and give you guys something new and different, and we like that. But
a nice Halloween palate cleanser, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got to spit that movie out at some point. It's been in my mouth all day long. But no, yeah, man. But I don't want anybody like that's a regular to be like, well, you're not doing any more horror. We will do more horror, and we will do more horror. We'll do a lot of horrors and horror. But this was fun, man. I dig doing this shit, man, because it does change it up a little bit, and it's fun. Yeah. This is just fun.
100%, dude. Hey, let's play each other out. Let's do a little $15, little man, together as we exit. Are you ready?
Yeah. 15
$15, little man.
man. Put that
Put
shit
that shit in my
in my
hand.
hand. If you
If that
don't,
money doesn't
Oh.
show, then you owe me, yo.
well, I'm still in recovery.
Yo. Jungle
The
Love.
motherfucking time.
Yo.
The motherfucking time, y'all.